Look at her, isn't she adorable?
Yeah, she is, but timing, man.
Hello and welcome to Play of the Night, a 5th edition homebrew campaign played with these fine fellows. I am your Dungeon Master for this evening, James J.C. Laird, and I will be running you through a world of pure imagination, dark chaos, and high fantasy. Joining me at present, we have Vi playing Ida.
Hello.
We have Mel playing Kiva.
Hello.
We have Robin playing Gerd.
Good evening.
And we have Mask playing Misty.
Evening, darlings.
We have a player on the way in, Jasmine playing our monk Mel. They will be joining us as soon
May.
as
Our
they
monk
get...
May.
Yeah.
Monk May.
Okay, sorry, yep, monk May. That's my bad.
Interrupting us a hot second. JC, stream says your audio is very quiet.
Okay. Let me adjust that slightly. Thank you, stream. Thank you, stream.
Our stream can probably note I am currently being harassed by a goddammit.
Yeah, the cat is visible.
How does
the-
my stream? Am I coming in a bit stronger?
Shall wait for a reply from them. They do say that mine and air quotes the cat boy, who I presume is Mel,
The cat's audio is
are
fine.
fine.
Yeah, the cat's audio is fine.
The cat boy.
Yes.
The cat stream. I'm offended. I'm Storm.
The cat storm.
Just because I own a cat doesn't make me a cat boy. Also,
does
not
now.
boy. We'll go over for that at another day.
Sorry.
So, if you are new to our stream, thank you for joining us. If you are a returning person, you know what I'm about to say. We operate an interactive element to our stream where you, the viewer, will be prompted to vote on these people to decide who is most deserving of DM inspiration. It could be awarded on just a night of bad rolls, an epic moment, a clever idea, or just frankly, you're simping on them and you want to give them a special gift. Either which way, you will be prompted to vote at the end of the stream on who you think is most deserving, and that person will get DM inspiration, allowing for a reroll of their choosing, potentially turning failure into success. I will do a little bit of a recap of the grander scheme before handing it over to... Oh no, our player of the night isn't here, are they? So I will do the full recap.
Nope.
The group, as of yet unnamed, returning from business in the north, have been making their way southwards towards the city of Araya, where celebrations of Lupercalia are to take place in the coming days. As part of their journey, they encountered a mysterious and powerful entity known only as the Buran, who has been containing their enthusiasm and been spawning dark creatures of the night. After arriving at Cairnborough, a base of operations known very well to Gerd, the party was set and besieged by forces from Thay'Lude, a once thought abandoned and forgotten fortress from a long-ago war. After realizing this was no longer the case, they investigated, sneaking inside and delving deep, finding that the creatures within had become dangerous, mutated, and were amassing. Clearing out the entire temple, as it once was called, resulted in not only a mass resurrection, passing on of many souls once held in entrapment, but also a ritual that has augmented the monk, turning them into something in a state between life and death. Continuing into the cataclysms and further down into the depths of the temple, the party came across an unusual entity who had been kidnapping peoples for experimentation with body parts. The party, deciding that those that were in chains and being dragged away were more important than stopping the creature doing the experimentation, did in haste set forth. Unfortunately, this led them to deal with a monstrous creation, an cruel epitaph, a false mimicry of a once proud and faithful guardian, now turned into a monster of pure hatred. The relentless juggernaut did battle with the group, felling many and nearly claiming the life of Ida in her wizardly ways. Thankfully, with some healing potions now expended and a clutch move of healing from the cleric, everyone is back on their feet and moving once more. However, it was as the group made their way towards the surface with the survivors that could not be teleported away to safety that they came across an extremely ominous feeling. Outside, crisp, cool air, snapping almost with the crackle of winter, is alien in this what should have been spring afternoon. Emerging out onto the plains, the rolling hills and footpaths around you, now clear from the surrounding shroud of mist that it had been suffused with for more than 1,000 years, revealed instead an immense spire of ice. Slowly moving towards the spire, the group became aware that something should have been held within it, a recess, a cavern now vacated, in the shape of the tomb's immense immortal guardian that had been warned by the god of death himself to be wary of. It was into this that a voice, rasping and hoarse, spoke. So, if you would all like to place yourselves, I think you're placed on the map already, are you?
Mhm.
Alrighty. So this is what you see as you emerge. What you see before you is a figure in whites, blues, and blacks. Their features, an impossibly otherworldly beauty, descend into a ferocious glower. They look down at you, sword of black ice, serrated with refracted crystal, is held in one hand. A blue cape flowing behind. You will do nothing, the voice says over the chilled glade, until you hear what I have to say. They stand,
Okay.
float I should say, on the shoulder of the ice spire, looking down at you with their features contorted in rage.
Misty will step forwards and look up at them. Say, "Speak your piece, then."
JC, before he starts talking, can I make a perception check to see if he has taken any damage or looks
Certainly,
like?
yeah.
Is it a-
Yes,
Would
you
it be
can roll a
investigation
perception.
or
Yes, you can roll a perception.
All right. Could it be an investigation also, either, or just
Nope,
perception?
it would be a perception.
Okay. It's 18.
18. You see them standing confident, but you do not see any of their allies or any sign of their allies anywhere nearby. In a previous encounter with them, you may recall the witches that were subordinates, and their magic left a very notable trace on the terrain. There's nothing here except this large spire of ice.
Okay. Thank you.
I would like to. Ida's immediate thought is if he wants to, or if they want to speak their piece, that they might be being duplicitous and hiding something, like preparing a spell.
Okay.
I would like to look, I guess, look at them very intently to find signs of that.
Certainly. Sorry, 1 second. My computer just jumped, so I've lost all my stuff. So you want to look at that? Would be a perception check as well.
God, roll 20 is a piece of shit.
Mhm. It is known.
That's gonna be coming in a little bit, so feel free to move on from me for a second. After.
Section. You, cleric, I have no qualm with. You were simply unfortunate enough to come into contact with thieves and betrayers.
Hmm?
He
I don't
sneers.
remember stealing anything.
Oh, hold on, why is this happening? He sneers. Look at you, at Ida, a child playing at being a hero, at Misty, a betrayer of all that was once. A betrayer of once all that was held dear, instead now hypocritical, covetous of control and power. One second. I'm having difficulties in the computer. I'm just going to delete this. It's not doing what I want it to do. To me, a faithless scourge, pretending at morality, and finally to Gerd, and you, continuing to scrounge from the deceased in an attempt to fill your pockets. You sicken me with your pillaging. Was it not enough that you took from my brethren? You had to defile this place here as well?
Hang on. So you don't have a problem with me, but you're accosting all of us because you're upset. I assume the historical thing with points at the Dark Elves, and you were kidnapping people, torturing them, and turning them into monsters. And we're the problem here.
I have nothing to do with what was done here. In fact, I commend you in removing another blight of this plane from existence. It is what you did after that once again sets you. Turn out your pockets. And I would invite various peoples to check their character sheets, and specifically their bios and their inventories.
Okay.
That includes you, Gerd.
Yeah. Sure.
Hmm.
I have a few things in my pocket that I took from Thay'Lude. Oh, in the bag.
Is that in the treasure section on bio?
It would be indeed.
And I apparently have nothing. Interesting.
What? Treasure section on.
There
You
you go.
mean my
Yeah, it's the
inventory,
the bio tab between core and spells.
I'm not using Roll20. I assume he just means my inventory.
I mean your bio on Roll20.
You have got some stuff in
Oh.
there, good.
Wow.
I will
Really?
post it to you.
Oh, I'll have a look at it.
I did just like frantically
It
like
actually works.
overturning. It's like, just like
It's
I
not
don't
like
have anything.
crumble.
And I'm not a child. I'm over a century old. It's a long time, isn't it? Their kind don't even live that long, mostly.
JC,
Yes,
as I notice these things in my pocket, do I remember ever picking them up?
you do in fact.
Do I?
You do.
Mhm.
As your events from unknown that I had asked for a few times. I decided that if you guys weren't going to tell me what you did before your stream starts, I'll make it. And
Huh?
it turns out
Um.
that an event, a bounty hunting of a sort, treasure hunting, treasure seeking, clearing out of a ruin, has apparently invoked some ire upon you.
Oh, all right.
You came to a sacred place, that in which my people put down their lives to save this realm from tipping into chaos. With the items you stole for your own petty needs, we sacrificed ourselves. All of us, each from a different aspect of time, nature. The dawn, the zenith, the dusk, the zenith. The autumn, the winter, the summer and the spring. Oops. Didn't get it.
Oh. Okay, I understand that you're
Hold on,
angry.
sorry. Each of us gave to our leaders, each of us giving what little we had after centuries of warding the realms. Our deaths, entombed within those sacred stones, staved off that force, curving it into the cosmos. He glares at the horizon, as if coming with emotion. I exist doing this, stop doing it. I'm very sorry, this is not how it was meant to go. It's meant to be
Yep, no worries.
We are experiencing technical difficulties, stream. Unfortunately,
And you
This shit
decide to desecrate those places with the hooves of your with the soles of your boots and the hooves of your mounts. Stop doing that. Caring little for what it was that might have been, only interested in what you could gain. They pause for a moment, looking over the horizon. This society is endemic, tilted and fetid with corruption and decay. Each generation attempting to prop up the whole rotten structure. His face snaps back towards you. We will stand for it no longer.
What of, she gestures to the refugees behind. Do you intend to do them harm?
Tell your people, your warriors, your leaders, your mages, that they will all be swept away. We will cleanse this world of its heinous actions and bring a new form of governance to this land. One in which
Friends
equality
usually mean
does not
murder.
come from simple blood, or birth, or status, or notion. It will be pure and it will be white, blank slate for all.
That sounds like a lot of death to me. You couch it in terms, you ignore it, you say cleanse, you say white, blank, pure.
Ignore it. They look at
You're
you. We stood as the wardens in the Skyon. We allowed and protected the realms while your gods squabbled among them, fighting over the small scraps of power that they deemed themselves owed. And instead, we sat back and held the realms in check, kept them in balance, waiting, watching, hoping for a change, that some form of action would be taken. Nothing.
so you would burn everything, everyone, regardless of their involvement,
Oh, no.
regardless of anything.
We will do nothing. That is exactly the beauty of it all. We will no longer stand by and let the system perpetuate. We remove ourselves from the wheel, and we will watch everything crumble. You blame us? Fine. That is what it may be. But your existence would not happen without us being and staving off, keeping in balance and check. And we tire of that continued effect of people who deserve one, instead take 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, taking more than they deserve. So those at the least, those at the bottom, have ever so much littler, until they are left with nothing.
Speak of the gods.
We speak of everything that this continent stands upon.
who would survive.
You assume, then, that I am not aiming to change this system.
I assume that you come with your own needs and agendas, much as everyone does.
As do you. To deny that would be folly. But that does not mean my agendas can be beneficial to this place, to these people.
You work within a system that is decayed. Each generation doing more in an attempt to prop it up, to change it, to augment it, to make it something that they think would be better, instead of letting it fall, tearing it down and starting anew. We will abide by this no longer.
So you would take the quick option, rather than letting the people heal themselves, rather than allowing them the means to fix the system themselves, instructing them on how to do it. You would simply come in like gods on high, destroying those structures, letting thousands die in the process.
You assume much. You assume that my actions will inevitably cause death. You assume that my actions will lead to something.
You literally just said that.
It is my actions that have allowed for this system to stay in place.
Tell me then, the cities, the people in them, the surrounding areas, how will they be fed once supply lines break down? How will they get their food and clean water once the systems that are used to spread around wealth unfairly? Yes, I would not contend you that there is inequality. But those with less will instead go with nothing. And yes, those with more will then try and pull their weight even more if they are still in fact alive. The logistics of what you propose is quite complex nature.
What I propose is to allow nature to take its course once again. Have you ever wondered why, despite how far south this continent lies, there is no snow? Do you ever wonder why, no matter what time of year it may reside in, that grasses grow and bloom, that magic courses through the world while keeping it alive?
Of course not. Why would I? I've never known anything different.
And that is because we acted. Inaction is not the same as doing nothing. Inaction is allowing the perpetuation of a cycle. That cycle that we have stalled, that cycle that we have held at bay. A winter will come, it will cleanse. It will bring back into alignment and balance. You do not blame the snows for falling, you do not blame the rain for falling, do not blame me and my people. That which we stand for, that's what we do, we're doing the same. If a system is so dependent upon such notions of stability, that it is so fragile that it cannot adapt or bend, or those that could not come together and give what is so easily taken, but yet so infrequently given. Cleric, you know exactly of what I talk. Do not pretend you do not know exactly what resides within the city of which you call homes.
Oh, no, I'm not contesting any of what you're saying. I just want to point out that by letting the winter come, all you're going to do is kill all of the people at the bottom. They're the ones who can't run. They're the ones who can never run. Because that's what people like you forget. That in all of these situations, every fucking time, every one of them, the people at the top have the power, have the wealth to run the fuck away when shit goes wrong. When the ice comes, when your blessed winter that'll wipe the slate scheme comes, who's it gonna kill? Is it gonna kill the people perpetuating the cycle, or is it gonna kill the weak, those who can't escape? Huh?
It will kill those at the top.
That's remarkable.
I've been doing disaster relief work for 8 years. I have never seen a disaster that kills the top before it kills a fuck ton of people on the bottom. Never.
Natural disaster, true. This is no natural disaster. This is made by those at the top, and those at the top will reap the rewards. We shall see to it.
So you don't even give a shit about the collateral, do you?
Again, you assume
No.
much. You assume as if we will let the water rise, we will let the forests burn, and affect those who are near most. Balance is what I've always talked about. And yet you assume, and yet still you do not truly listen.
Well,
To
I think I'm
Yeah.
starting to.
balance, a lot of
if
people are
I
going
may,
to die.
please. Ida clenches her fists up and just lets it go. If you are as genuine and powerful and precise as you say you are, I don't have a problem with you. That's a lot of ifs, though. Right? You came here, you didn't play at humility, you didn't play at anything to make convincing us easier. You just stood there, you float there, you're not even standing on the same ground as us. Even if you are completely genuine, you have given us nothing to believe you. It's why I don't trust Misty, it's why I don't trust all the people that lied at me like that. You're acting just like them. I want to believe you're telling the truth.
It's a deep breath, and the head looks down, and when it comes back up, the eyes are sharp, a black pool in the centre. No colour to them, just a simple black and white to the eye. And I could say the same for you.
I know!
You came
That's why
in
I'm...
to a place of sanctum, cared little for what it stood for, did nothing in the way of research, and instead just took what you deemed you wanted. That
I didn't take
attitude and action. No, you didn't, but you stood by and let the others who currently turned out their pockets and revealed it to the group. You stood there and let it happen, you watched it happen. As I say, inactivity does not mean standing against. I was not the one that threw the first blow, if you recall. I stood there and said that you were betrayers and those who were taking. And instead I was told to fuck off with my grandiose notions. And instead you struck me as if you had the thought of power behind you, not realizing what you stood in front of. It is endemic of this society.
Yeah,
Philosophy
maybe.
may dictate whatever. We can merit the want of lives of suffering. But I'm doing something about it. I was the 13th.
Well-
I was the one that saw against. As my brethren did what they did. I was the one charged with, unfortunately, being the opposite in that moment. To fight back, to contest, to question, as the other 12 came to agreement. I was that one forced to be the odd one out. And look where it's gone.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
will
yeah.
revive.
But sorry to cut you off, because you're starting to rant, and I don't think that's getting us anywhere. But you're talking to us now, right? That seems to imply you think we can learn.
I advise you to tell your leaders. Looking at Misty, to tell those who have power. Looking at Gerd, to those who would guard against foreign intervention. To Kiva, to those that would help the weak. To May, to those that would attempt to guide, and to you, to those that would look to inspire. I could come down and we could fight and it could end in bloodshed. I've never wanted that, ever. I told you to stand down when your people were on the ground, and I walked them away with nothing but a mark to remember your audacity, to humble you, if it were. Go, he points with his sword. Tell, warn, act. has come the winter, it will not end until balance is restored. You have 1 year.
But it seems fair.
You are the Buran, then. Is that what we're to tell them? That the Buran come?
I think you misunderstood.
We are
Little.
the whiteness, the solid winter. That he kind of seems to struggle with the translation for a moment. Someone's trying to call me. 1 second.
Always at the best of times.
I know.
Always.
I love.
Jasmine's calling me. I can't leave.
Mute for a second.
Yeah,
So,
just mute for a
guys.
second. I'll put the stream on hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll pause the
hold
stream
on,
mute for a second.
I'll,
20 minute stream.
So yeah, I'm feeling real useful this conversation. I have so much to add.
I think Jasmine
Don't
needs
leave.
to help her bring something in from the car.
Alright.
We will be 1 moment stream. Be right back. Sorry about that. I was really, I think we're really getting
Hold
somewhere
on,
with that.
I'm getting cold. I'll tell you in a second.
All right, thank you. Sorry, that was really an inopportune moment. What were you saying there, Ida?
JC,
Yes.
open your door.
Okay.
So yeah, this conversation. God damn, guys.
It's a big old
Sorry.
philosophical one.
Eeh. Whoa. Eeh. I just feel like I would flip out as soon as I say one sentence. Go all berserk on him. So Gert is just very red in the face, squeezing his fists in anger. Like one hand behind his back on his crossbow, like just in case.
And then you've got Kiva being an angry Kiva.
Well, you know, he basically what he said is he is going to do everything in his power to break the common peace, which is everything I stand for.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah,
Listen to
because
the
he
other
is
side.
trying to break down the entire system by taking out the top, which he is going to do by bringing on the winter, which is going to bring everything in jeopardy, which is going to make everything chaotic, go into chaos, descend into shit, which is breaking the common peace. At least that is my understanding from it so far.
No, you're not wrong.
And you know, Gerd is realizing that if he opens his mouth, whatever is gonna come out isn't gonna help the situation anything. So he's just standing there, like balling his fists, holding in. Like, shit, he's so right in calling me a grave robber, but everything else he said so far, I want to punch this dude in the face.
What did you guys even do?
I don't fucking know.
Well,
Apparently,
apparently
apparently we robbed a tomb.
Yeah, I don't even know when this was supposed to happen. Apparently, before a session, JC asked us what we were doing or something, and then we didn't answer, which led to him making up that we grave robbed. And I apparently have 12 gold rings, a crumbled book in Sylvan, and paper impression of runes on stone pillars that I have with me, which are probably the paper impression is probably for research. Same with the book, and the gold rings are probably just shiny. I don't know what else, but apparently they are of greater meaning to the Biran. But I didn't actually know I took them until just now. Just you know. What do you have?
I got a hero heart flower, blue and white, amphora with a strange alchemical mixture, faded stone tablet, and a stone knife.
Huh.
Which you're gonna like.
I returned. Sorry.
I don't think Ida has anything.
No, you didn't take anything. He said.
Kiva wasn't even involved in this whole situation. She just
honestly, it's like
none of us
I
were
get the
involved in this.
yeah, no one
But it
was
still
actually there.
happened.
No, like I checked, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Ida has a
You
book,
didn't take
but
anything.
like
He said.
but that's a book that I think I
No,
got
but
from
JC said that you didn't take anything, but because you didn't stop us from taking anything, you were still
Yeah.
just as guilty, basically.
Hello, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Right.
So,
Where were we?
so
He
Mr.
told us to go.
Puren person, you say we have 1 year, and I know we don't have the power to really stop you right now, but I would say the same to you. You have to. You say this won't hurt the people that don't deserve it. I hope you're telling the truth. I really do.
They just give a firm nod.
Can I insight them with all this, by the way?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
16.
16. You incite anger,
That much was evident.
frustration,
But there's a bit of disgust.
sincerity,
Hmm.
and I'd say with a 16, especially with the line of questions, I'd say a small semblance of, I wouldn't say hope, but that way of like a firm resolve of like I've gotten my message across finally, and they've listened. Good.
I get you. There you go. And I will and use that year well we shall. I'm going to go research exactly what it is you're talking about. Seems unfair to have these consequences foisted upon us without knowing what we're dealing with after all. Have a good day.
Ida just waves and teleports back over to where the refugees are and just starts immediately ushering them away. Like, we have to get out of here. Come on, let's go.
The Buran puts a hand onto the ice and just steps through it, and then almost turns walking away into a distance that doesn't exist. And then the ice begins to rapidly melt.
Lovely. Such a joyous scenario we find ourselves in.
Is there any remains of the Guardian in the middle of the ice?
I presume not.
Alright.
Nope, which is why we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Let's go.
Good to know, though.
Where did we leave the car?
It's right over there, Ida, darling.
Okay. DM, how many people do we have with us?
I believe you have about 20 people with you. The most injured were taken away, so these people can walk, but not like you are hardy individuals. These are
Hang on. I have it written down how many people are with us. I think it's way less than 20.
I think we had like 12 or 8.
Yeah, I think we have literally enough to put in the card.
okay.
So I think we have like 8.
All of us walking.
Yeah.
We could teleport 20 people, and I
That-
think
that-
most
that
of them
might be
ended up
enough
going.
to get fucking 20 people teleported.
Yeah.
We
that
said,
makes
yeah,
sense.
we sent 20 people. There were 30 people total.
Right.
So we have 10 people, 8 people in the car, and 2 people walking alongside us.
Okay.
So
we
I
can
have to steer
look-
the cart, obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Could and either of those two sit next to you on the front?
JC, can they?
I think now because you've got formed. No, not really, because you need to be in front of them. No, so you got the
I
forwards
think-
on the
Well,
forward side.
JC, we can put one in the ballista position because he doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Rip out the
Forward
police.
Yeah,
top and
I think it's a max. Yeah.
max
Yeah.
capacity and something.
Can I interrupt a second here?
So I think 3 people have to walk.
Because I was not here last session, I was not able to do this, but I have teleportation circle. Did I see the rune that Claudius carved into his teleportation circle to go to Reading?
Yes.
There we are then. I'll just say, darlings, I think I picked up a trick or two from our friend Claudius. Allow me, and I just and then I double check to see if that spell has any material components, which I don't have because it does.
It
And I-
does. It requires
So
a
never
troll.
mind that sentence. It didn't happen.
I also want to remind you that Kirinborough will be completely in the dark if we just disappear at this point.
I don't have to go through the portal anyway.
Yeah, good point.
We could just set it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I can't do it anyway, so let's just go. Let's fit them all in, and we have to walk beside.
Oh, you get off my keyboard.
Yeah.
You are very cute, and I love you to pieces.
That's
The ink.
You want to come in on that? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh, it's Attack of the Cats this
It really
time.
is, it really is. So,
Mhm.
the group has yet unnamed. To bring, I think probably you're better off watching the stream back, Desmond, to catch up on all that was said, because there was a lot of things said. Believing that you have obviously a few hours of travel back to Kirnborough, and if you wish to talk or do or say anything, by all means. If you do not, then we'll jump to Kirnborough.
Yeah. I would like to say something on the way back. I don't know if anyone else has anything else to say. Mine can wait. It's not super important. It's just a discussion like to have in character.
Okay. The only thing that happens after that whole debacle is that as soon as we start off, Ida just pukes.
Valid. An entirely valid response.
Gert is gonna stand next to you, and he's just gonna look and say, "That's understandable." It's
No,
no shame in that.
I was just scared.
I'm just going to rub your back.
It's as I said. That's understandable. I don't feel confident when that thing is around either.
Okay, can I just clarify? What the fuck did you guys do?
JC, what the fuck did we do?
The reason that you are currently a party is because there were two separate groups before you became one group. Two of you, Ida and Misty, and the other two, me and Gert. There was a job that was offered that you elected to take, which was to explore a room. And not knowing much else about it, and figuring it was easy money, along with on the sort of getting whatever it is that you find material-wise, or you can report back on what was inside the structure, then you were free to take what you wanted. So you did.
Alright.
It was
We
then
did
traveled
stuff.
back that a cleric coming from the north, another station of their order, joined you for safe travels, and a bit of a friendship was beginning to form when your interactions with the Buran overtook you.
Alright.
Well, in that case, I'll say we took a job, and we fulfilled our end of the contract. Apparently, the ruin that we explored was of some importance to the Duran.
Lovely.
I don't remember any mention of them in the place we explored, but apparently so.
Mhm.
It was a quick job. I think we needed money at the time.
I mean, maybe you
As
did.
I sort of waved my hand and given you 8
Yeah.
level tier stuff.
You know what? It's fine. We'll roll with it.
Yeah, don't worry, man.
I
It's
thought
cool.
we hadn't gone over stuff that we'd done, but I guess you wanted more specifics, so that's fair. Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, I remember.
That was
the-
keyboard.
I remember.
Mistakes we made.
I remember it clearly. It was the first time Misty ever pulled a stupid illusion joke on me.
Good times.
It made me believe that painting was real. And then I thought it couldn't pass through the fucking doorway. I was stuck there for 20 minutes. Can you believe that, Ida? 20 minutes!
Yes, I can. She
I
turned
can
me
believe
into
that
a...
too.
She did
I'm
what
pretty
now?
sure she... one time she polymorphed me to wake me up.
You were so
Wake you
cute
up?
as a rabbit, darling.
Stop it!
Suits
No, it
you.
wasn't.
By the way, Ida, how do you
What?
feel about using a shield? I think it might be of a lot of use to you.
I don't. Let's get out of here and deal with that.
I mean, I
problem
assume
first.
that we're walking while we're talking, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Jasmine,
I-
You roll the. Oh no, your permission this is not great. Yes, it's rolled. Jasmine, your carriage is fully loaded. You will probably have to figure out a place to store the ballista, the the carriage has storage. You can really dismantle it.
Yeah, it has storage compartments.
So you can put it in there without difficulty. As you begin making your way out of Thay'Lude, back into the fields of sorrow, it is a very different landscape. That which surrounds Araya is low-rolling hills and maybe mountains, the site of many an inspired piece of art. You imagine that Thay'Lude very much could have been the same if it weren't for the perpetual mist that has choked the life out of everything. It is a marsh, a bog, a swamp. Mushrooms abound with gnarled trees crooked over. But also you see the remains of the battles that have taken place here. The multitude of creatures that have died since, as well as the ancient machines of war that were left. Broken trebuchets, skeletal arms, rusted armor. Crows and ravens are the first ones to venture into the new domain, but even they remain land, realizing that the toxicity of this place will take some time to heal.
Okay.
Well, that's one good thing we did recently.
Yeah. I'd say this place looks a lot better than when we came in.
Definitely.
On that note, then, we seem to have a common purpose at the minute. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'd say so.
Aye?
I was thinking we might decide upon a group name for us.
Make it an official party. I like it. Alright, do you have anything in mind, Misty?
Hmm. I
We have to-
gesture to the surrounding lands and fields. I'm partial to. These were called the Fields of Woe, was it, JC, or the
Plains.
Fields of Sorrow?
Plains of War.
Plains of War.
Plains of Woe, yeah. How about Woe's End? Seems appropriate.
Yes, it does. We cleansed this place as best we could, put an end to whatever was going on here, so
Solidifying acts
together.
for an identity, I think it goes rather well. Sorry, kid. I spoke over you.
that's alright. As I said, it just, as we all did it together, it's a fitting thing.
And now,
I like the name.
And I don't want just mine good's opinion. Anyone else?
Great name.
Ida, darling.
I like it.
Thoughts? Oh,
Yes.
a unanimous vote then.
I used to have
Woe's
Fine
End.
with it. Woe's End.
thingy from the transformation. It gave me
Oh.
vision.
May we continue to end the woes in our travels
Yeah,
of our own
Okay, and then also
or our enemies permanently. Either or.
And the woes of as many people as we can.
Yes, absolutely.
We are here for the common peace after all. Help out where we can.
So, I like it. It feels poetic. Go ahead. Now, when was the last time any of us heard a good poem or saw a good play? I think we've all in a little bit of a break after this.
What? You watch
Don't make
plays?
me perform for you again.
Oh, that's a
darling.
great
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Ida, you can perform?
No, I was not asking you to perform. As
I am
wonderful as
now.
your performances are, no, wonderful as your performances are, darling. No, I figured it was something we could enjoy as a group.
Oh.
I know I
Oh.
know a
Oh.
few places.
We could
Okay.
have a drinking contest.
No.
I'd
I will
rather. I don't think I'm going to start a competition that I'm sure to lose, kid.
How are you so sure?
Go on then,
Ida,
good. Oh.
I got this. Ida is gonna walk right up in front of Gerd and just look up.
How big are you?
What do you think?
How
She's
tall are you?
like she's like 5'4" and probably barely over 100 pounds.
Yeah, I'm like 6'3".
Just as a reminder,
The table.
and just as a reminder,
Kiva,
Uh,
you're on.
Misty is waifishly thin and 5 foot nothing.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
you've been drinking alcohol more than Gerd has lately.
Finally, I'm taller
he
than
has
someone.
a big image
Kiva's
of your
5'3".
tolerance. But I'm pretty sure you keep drinking wine, which is lower in alcohol than Gerd's average drink. I'm pretty
He
sure.
specifically keeps casually drinking a small amount of wine, but constantly.
You keep stealing the bottles from my backpack whenever I don't look pay attention.
Correct.
God damn it! There's only one left. There's one wine bottle and one mead bottle. And the mead is mine.
The functioning alcoholic might run out of wine if she's out. If you run out, Gerd. We
Yeah.
want to stock up.
Yeah.
What can I
but
say? I enjoy
like this
finer
idea.
things in life.
Play. Let's go.
A play? I don't think. Well, there might be a play in Kirborough to celebrate, but I think we'll have to wait for a riot for that.
Oh.
Anyway, Kiva, you're on tonight. When we get back, we're gonna have a contest.
Not tonight. I'm not feeling up to it. Feeling it tonight. A little bit tapped.
Are you
from the-
chickening out?
No,
It's a celebration. We made it.
Gerd, I nearly died, and so did Kiva. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think-
I'm feeling a little sore.
Right.
Don't particularly want to add the hangover to the ache.
I'm sorry. I didn't really think about that.
yeah.
Fine.
It's good medicine, though. It's
Once we're back in Naraya, I will happily drink you under the table.
I
I mean, do you even feel anything under this? Bang, 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 bang on his armor.
On
Kurt
his,
just looks and goes, "No, but that's kind of a sick beat." As he then Gert taps his armor in rhythm, which is not in rhythm at all.
With the sounds of the Pots and Pan Orchestra resounding across the desolate fields, the plains of woe and the fields of sorrow, I think we will skip forward to your arrival and return to Cairnborough as the Wynnum, in their cunning nature, wander up to the carriage to see what's going on before a few of them have to get beaten back for an pick at it.
Oi, don't! Leave it alone!
Illusory dragon just roars at them.
Gerd literally jumps for a split
So you're
second
the-
before he realizes.
Roll a d4.
1.
One just falls over as the rest disappear.
Like, legs up.
And you just
I
turn upside down. I'm playing dead. But you arrive into Cairnborough to very many questions about where are the others, what happened, what's going on, and Verlaine is quick to try and disperse people and send them back, and basically invites you all to talk with her, so that then she can relate to the people here.
As soon as we see Verlaine, Ida's going to stare at her a little obviously, but very intently. Is this in fact Verlaine?
Does she have an arm?
Does she have the what? Sorry.
Does she have both arms?
Both arms are currently encased in her armor.
You guys
We'll get her
alright?
in private in a second.
There was something more. There was something about the flesh golem that made us realize it wasn't Verlaine, and I seem to remember it being a missing limb.
No, she has an arm. It's
Skeletal
just
limb.
skeletal.
Oh yeah, skeletal limb.
So, is she taking us into a private place?
She
Yeah,
is
are we-
trying to change the map, but my roll 20 was crashed and reloaded.
I would assume that we're going to the temple since we got the
Yes.
wounded as well.
Indeed, you are.
Alright. The carriage can pull up into the temple, no problem, I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to remember the accent for Verlaine. It's a long time since I've done Verlaine. Right, well, I think there are a lot of questions that need to be asked. First and most, Right. And what has taken place?
We're beat up, but we're all right. Quite a lot has taken place. Where to
Um,
start? Thay'Lude has been cleansed.
That is
I just
excuse.
I nudge May forwards.
Thanks to my sister here.
We did it with the help of Shanaleth. He was present there with us.
Darling, you undersell yourself. The ritual cleansed the land, and happened to summon him. I mean, not often a human is able to summon a god to the material plane. I think that's a feat worthy of praise.
You could say that again.
Okay. We did a ritual that summoned Shanaleth, and he helped us.
Let's be
The
clear, you did the ritual. You started the ritual. The rest of us just kind of tried our best to help.
I did a ritual for my deity Shanaleth to cleanse the area, and it cleansed Thay'Lude, and he accompanied us for a short while and helped us.
Defeat the Guardian.
Yes,
No, this semi-Guardian that was
that they were building.
built.
A second guardian, not the bigger one. There was a smaller second one.
Hmm.
Is this the temple?
No,
No,
this is the
that's generic
test.
battle map.
Yeah, this is adventure
Is
test.
this the temple?
Yeah.
Yes.
Delaney doesn't say anything for a moment, just letting a lot of information come out very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a second to take that all in. You know, deity appearing and all.
Can I see your hand, please?
Certainly, they hold out their hand.
The messed up one.
You could say it a bit nicer.
Frowns. Might I inquire as to why?
Just checking something. Related to our activities earlier.
Indulge her for a moment, if you don't mind, Philly.
Well, you afterward.
Very
If you could
well.
please.
She reveals both arms, one to be in its regular state, and the other to be in its slightly less than regular state, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Okay. Good. So we encountered. So we weren't able to save everyone, and the people that were saved were turned into a flesh golem that looks an awful lot like you.
Spitting image, really.
Her eyes, her brows furrow very heavily at this. And I'm assuming that you destroyed it.
It got away.
No,
Unfortunately,
we
no.
destroyed the flesh golem, but the guy got away.
No,
No.
did we? No, we
No, we
destroyed
didn't.
the second guardian.
No, I'm pretty sure we destroyed the golem.
No, we didn't. We let it go to get the. We did
Yeah,
not. They were
We had to save the people.
killing people on the spot. They gave us a choice: save the living or deal with the problem. We chose to rescue as many people as possible.
I see. And these 10 are the few.
A few more were saved, but they were sent to Reading via a teleportation circle.
A total of 30 people.
They're so safe at our father's mansion, and they gestured to Gerd. With our brother Claudius.
If it is all the same, I would prefer to hear this from the Arhar's perspective. Too many voices can cloud details.
Okay. So,
As I said, we defeated the second Guardian. There was indeed something making a flesh golem, which looked an awful lot like you, almost identical. We defeated the secondary Guardian, after which we saved the refugees. We sent the most hurt ones to, as my sister said, our father's mansion, so they could receive the best treatment that is possible to give them at the moment. Then we took these people with us. We had another encounter with the Buran, which we told you about last time.
Yes, you had mentioned.
They did not fight us. They said that they were going to destroy the system, and that in a year winter would come and that the system would then be destroyed by them. By the system, they mean the top. They told us to tell everyone, which was weird, but yeah, weird.
Yes.
After
Nodding along as you speak, she quirks a brow, but doesn't say anything.
at which part?
Interaction with the Buran again.
All right. Uh, After that, he let us go, and as we had just fought the Guardians, we were still protecting the refugees. We decided to go. And that's where we are now. Any of you have any details to add to that?
Yes, they said the winter would come and would not leave.
Good point.
A winter without end. To reset the balance.
William
They
takes
seem
the pin from her hair and lets it shake out, moving it slightly to relax her shoulders. The brown hair that, the silvery hair that eventually fades into brown, into blue at the tips. She are very round brown eyes. You can take this in as she begins to start pacing a little bit, taking in the information. Keep going.
They also said that they were not related to the kidnapping of the people.
But they also didn't do anything to stop it.
She turns and looks. What do you mean? They said they were not related.
They said that they had nothing to do with the people that were taken to Thay'Lude,
And
which
you
I
took them
don't
at their
really
word.
know, but that is what they said.
we got a measure of them. They didn't seem like they were lying. They felt sincere.
I don't think they were particularly in. The impression they gave was that they were aware of what was going on at Thay'Lude, they just didn't stop it.
Yeah. So they're guilty of. Why didn't I think of that?
It's
They
you
also-
They're guilty of the
there's a
same.
lot of, yes, let's just say, Kiva, it is very distasteful.
Mm-hmm.
Did you encounter the initial guardian? You said that there was a secondary guardian you faced at some point. What of the initial one, the one by the great betrayer?
We did not find well, we encountered it at some point, but we found an ice pillar which looked like it might have had it inside of it when we encountered the Biran.
What looked
But-
like it had inside? What do you mean?
The
that
guards
The Biran?
inside.
Clouded?
Like there was a hollow gap that was oddly fitting to it.
We also broke its
cavern.
power.
What?
Yes, we didn't go in there and murder absolutely everything, destroy it, conquer it like heroes. Our goal going in there was to get the
But
townspeople
there
back.
was a hole in the ice big enough to fit the Guardian. In fact, it was pretty much the exact shape of the Guardian. That's kind of burned on my memory. Sort of just digs her hand into Mole's fur.
Rainy continues to pace a little bit, seeming deep in thought, and she goes to speak a couple times, but then reverts back. And it seems then that there is a new player on the field. This will need to be reported. And someone creating golems that look suspiciously like people.
Mm-hmm.
That is concerning.
It is.
I am going to assume then that now Thay'Lude is cleansed by. She kind of squints a little bit at me at a ritual.
A ritual to help
Then-
all of the trapped souls
Why-
there pass on.
Then it is safe to stay here. Do you think?
There should no longer be any monsters coming from Thay'Lude, at least, as it seemed like the area was slowly but surely reverting to a natural state, even though it may take some time to fully heal, from what I have understood. Right, Kiva?
Yeah, I think that's the case. Someone will need to go there and kill the Guardian.
If it's still alive.
Oh no,
Well,
the still probably. I would be very surprised if it wasn't.
actually, about that, I had a theory I just thought of. If you listen,
She waves.
the ice that once held the Guardian was cavernous on the inside, as though the Guardian was held there and then disappeared. But there was no sign that it had attempted to flee or break the ice to allow it to escape. But when the Buran left, he walked into the ice and disappeared.
He might
I
have
think
taken.
I think the Buran may have.
Sorry.
I think the Buran may have captured the Guardian and taken it to their home plane to do God knows what with.
Well,
I'm not sure if that theory is correct.
It also phase through things.
well, the second
Earth.
Guardian we fought had pieces of the first Guardian's skin integrated into it, so they might be
So-
trying to make more.
This is where I have conflicting things. Gonna something I have to consider here, and my questions are first and foremost about them. So, allow me to get the salient points that concern me the most. Thay'Lude has been cleansed, if not for the most part. The Guardian, that of the Great Betrayer's craftsmanship, you did not see destroyed at any point. You instead saw something that could have contained it. There are now rumors that this very powerful entity, whose motives are circumspect at best, who left a scar on one of your own, indicating Misty's cheek, and who has something potentially to do with, and she waves her skillful hand, something to do with this, potentially took it. The other alternative is that the creature who was making the flesh golems, who, as Ara Hagard has said, was using pieces of the flesh to create other flesh golems, took it. Without a body to confirm
Yeah.
the death, I cannot exactly say with certainty that Thay'Lude will be a safe space, and thus I cannot say with certainty to the people here that it is safe to venture far and wide.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It then turns to the next question. You, as a collective, are the reason that I am hesitant to let people leave to Araya. Because you believe that the Buran had something to do with the whole thing. Your recent interaction with them, has that changed anything? Do you still fear for the movements of people? Do you still think there are going to be...
We need to
They-
do some rituals and ask.
I personally don't see any problem with it, but if you want to ask gods,
We should ask the gods.
We should also keep in mind that even though Thay'Lude has been at least mostly cleansed and there won't be any more monsters from there, the Night Stalkers have not been dealt with completely yet. To our
we
knowledge.
did kill a bunch of them, but we can't say for certain we got all of them.
We still do not know exactly where they're coming from.
That too.
If I may have some time and some incense, I can answer some questions.
I could also, but that's going to be a tomorrow thing.
I
I
can
could
do
do
that
mine.
today.
Do it today.
I think then that we should all do our various information gathering resources and in the morning when we have your strength has returned, because I say this with the greatest of respect and the most dearest of sincerities when I say, you look like shit.
Yes.
She kind of reaches over and plucks a bit of stone out of Ida's forehead. That might not have been comfortable, dear.
Ow, that hurt.
Yeah, Ida took a.
You
We
look like
all
you took
took
a
some
mountain
heavy
to the
punches.
face and the body.
Ida and I took the secondary guardian to the face, and it slammed us both into a wall.
Sorry, I did not mean to laugh, but
I mean, like, that's literally the only way I can describe it. Like, have you ever seen a mountain, then make it creepy and fleshy and give it the head of a bird, and then have it, like, run into you, and then slam you into a cave wall?
I
Ow.
think I will be seeing this in my nightmares.
Would you
I
like
hope
to? Would you like a
not.
demonstration? An illusion starts popping up between my hands.
I think
Oh.
probably best we not show this here, and she indicates that there are people, around.
Yeah.
I will probably
I said
have
it with a-
discussion with you in a moment. I have the questions that I needed answered, and I will need to answer to other people.
Please
before
also see
panic
wounded.
sees to it. So
Oh, darling, I was joking. I was gonna say I said it with a wry smile, and the illusion was just like a white thing.
indeed. Arahar, could I have a word with you before this evening departs?
Of course.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go.
Yes, sorry.
Ida half-heartedly mumbles something about needing sleep and just leaves.
I think she was tired.
I would think so. Very well, everybody, and I shall see you when the evening reconvenes. And she departs at this juncture. I need to get the music back on because I was wondering why it sounded odd.
Yeah.
Actually, Master, you mind putting the music on? If you go for village or something, or campfire, please.
Sure. Where did you?
Pinned in the music channel.
Yeah, I asked it and then I stopped because I knew the answer to my question.
Okay. There is nothing aside from the conversation that really was to have Gerd that I have particularly planned here in Kimbrough. You have the night to rest, and you have the carriage to get you to Araya if that is where your questions lead you or your desires lead you. I will leave that for you all to decide. Verlini has set quarters aside for you all to retire, and the tavern is also available if you want something slightly more comfortable. They probably will not charge you.
Ida's gonna go to the tavern.
Time of day
Yep.
is it?
By this point, it's getting into you spent most of the day there, and then travel to and from and done the rest. Because you left it fairly early light to get there because it was a day's trek.
Okay. I will just go to my room and I'm gonna cast divination.
Okay.
Um,
So let me just go through everybody before
yeah,
I do anything
absolutely.
else. So Ida, you're just collapsing. You're just going to sleep.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kiva.
Kiva is going to go to the bar, have a few drinks, and then probably do the same thing as Ida and go and pass out.
Okay. Gerd.
Gerd is gonna spend a little while praying in the temple and just hanging around for waiting for Verlaine after that.
Okay. And May.
May is going to go buy herself a gauntlet to put on her skeletal arm, and then she's gonna go to her room and cast augury.
Okay. Are you two going to be those two that cast the spells? Are you going to collaborate, or are you doing this independently?
I got the impression that Misty wanted to be independent, so I will also do it independent?
Honestly, no. Now that question's been raised, it's probably better to do collaborate, so I will seek you out.
Okay.
Okay, so the two of you, I'm going to presume you're going to do it in the temple, which may give greater reception to the gods.
Okay.
Sure. To the gods.
So you have the room. It is a fairly plain room, not nicely furnished, but furnished. Beds and cot sets, and a window that looks out across the back end of Road. You can see the small stream that feeds most of this city, along with the wells sneaking off in the distance, and the mountains that reside far, far away, barely visible in the dusk light. Who would like to go first?
How does divination work?
So I'll do this in character. I make an offering, and I'm put in contact with a celestial being, and I ask one question and get one truthful response, though it's often cryptic, and I need to suss it out myself.
Something similar happens when I cast augury, except my question has to be a yes or no question.
Mine does not. Can we start with mine? I was thinking of asking you if the previous situation has now changed regarding traveling to Araya.
Okay.
In that case, then, allow me to get set up, and I'll light the incense, and I'll draw the markings, and I pour some sand around. I assume we found an isolated spot.
You have yes.
Okay. And I will look you dead in the eyes, May. And I take off my eye patch. And you, for the first time, notice I have heterochromia.
Oh, you have a different colored eye.
One purple, one brown.
Which one do you cover up?
The brown one.
Ah.
And I go, I need both eyes for this ritual, I'm afraid. So, do try not to draw attention to it, please. It's a distinguishing mark, and it only gets us in trouble. Should someone come looking. Now.
Okay.
And I start chanting, and I cast the spell. And then I ask,
what is your question? And I believe you need to be quite specific with your question here, so I'll ask you to be quite specific with your questions here.
Should we travel with refugees from Canberra to Araya? Will those I saw at my last vision still meet their end?
That's kind of two questions there, so would you like to rephrase it?
It's one question with a qualifier. It's, if we do this, will this happen? Which, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to go for.
So let me just repeat the question so I've got it right. Should we go with the refugees to Araya? And if so, will the effects that you previously saw still take place?
No, if we go with the refugees to Araya, will the effects take place? If we do this action, will this happen?
Okay, if you take refugees from here to Araya, because the previous thing that you saw, because you've got two sources. You've got Kiva's ask, which was, will there be danger in traveling to Araya? Which you got yes, and that was the end of that.
Yes, and then we had my vision,
Uh-huh.
which I saw a ship on its side frozen over, not in water, not a sailing ship. People frozen in ice. What I wrote down was focus on two of them, one instinct. One with heraldry of Araya. I think it's meant to be one indistinct, one with the heraldry of Araya.
Sorry.
And then they would meet their end.
Kiva's question wasn't should we travel to Araya? It was should we gather reinforcements, or should we have reinforcements come?
Okay.
Basically, should we bring reinforcements to us?
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I should rephrase the question as, should we, if we send the warning in Araya, will the same fate still befall?
What do you mean by the warning? Sorry.
So last time the warning from the brand, we were told to go tell people, and this is the warning from the brand. If we were to tell people about the Naraya about the warning from the brand, would it result in the same outcome now that we've cleared Thay'Lude?
Okay. You gaze into your divination circle, and you see a small spiral emerge in Kiva's eye that swirls to the center before exploding out in almost like a spider web. That's all you see. Misty.
Misty's eye, not Kiva.
Yep, sorry. May you see that in Misty's eye? Okay. Misty, what do you see this time? As the threads of time and fate spirals, many other strands come to join it, and it descends off the distance before expanding. Two strands of those many you see. One you understand to be a previous timeline. Question once asked, and a new timeline now asked. And you can see that as they both head towards the same fate, one almost seems to accelerate towards it, reaching it faster, impacting it. You see flashes once again, the ship flows on its side. You see once again the heraldry of Araya frozen solid, covered in frost. And this time, as you see the second thread, that which you're following, this time you see it bend sideways and extend as if now drawn out, as if there was more of it, as if there was more to it, more detail, more clarity, more understanding. And as that thread comes back to Araya, you see the time has passed, movement, a change, an adjustment. You see the city, days circle past, faster and faster and faster. As you can see those within the city, very little changes, until a rolling white fog cascades over and everything seems to go white. It's painful. You feel your eyes starting to go water slightly. And eventually you see Araya again. You see people in Araya moving along the snow. Confused. You see people reaching for snow and never being able to touch it. You see people frozen in space, almost frozen in time. Icicles solid. You see the waterways overflowing as they burst from the water's pressure impact. You see various buildings collapse under the weight. And yet other ones which stand at slant, askew, seem to stand no problem.
And Missy just goes, rubs her eye.
Back. Sweet. Okay.
Well, good news.
Yes.
Baran are true to their word. If we go give this we can, and also we can go to Araya. Maybe even should. It seems, whatever magical snows they will bring, won't affect the most vulnerable of society, and rather, only the entrenched power systems. But buildings will fall, and people will freeze, but
So we should
only
tell
those who
people
benefit
about
from the
Buran?
system. What, sorry?
So we should tell people about the Buran.
Hard to say on that one, but
What question did you ask? Sorry, you changed it so many times.
I asked if it was if we go to Araya and tell them with the brand's warning, will that be different from last time? And it will. It will be different. There's more timeline. There's more understanding. So now, The Baran will, if the Baran do what they are going to do, or rather don't do what they've been continuing to do, they're going to selectively protect people. An interesting choice. Very interesting.
Okay.
Seems they really do want to reset the playing field.
They said that they're attacking people of power?
The kings, the queens, the generals, sort of. And they will freeze in their homes, and their houses collapse under the weight of the snow.
So, taking the people of Kimbro to Araya will be okay.
It seems so.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask my questions now.
Also, that happens in quite a long time. I think probably about in the year's time, it was stated.
Okay. So we've plenty of time to stop it.
Indeed.
Okay.
That is Main's question.
I can cast Augury 3 times per day, so can I use up all 3 times in this one ritual?
I believe so. Does the spell consume its power?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Certainly you can cast it 3 times.
Okay. My first question. Did the Buran take the Guardian?
What is it that you use your hero components for this?
So the spell says that you can use sticks, dragon bones, or sticks, bones, similar tokens. So I'm gonna use my lantern and then place like my holy symbol and like some small bones around it in like a circle.
Okay. You place the lantern and ignite it once again. The same purple hue flourishes that grave lights. And you ask the question, did the Buran take the Guardian?
Yes.
The purple brightens, turning white. You understand this to be yes.
I knew it!
Okay, question number 2. Is my family in danger?
Once again, the glow of the lantern brightens to white.
Final question. Should we stop Lupercalia? Would that thwart the Buran's plan?
The lantern dims, the light only becomes black. You understand this to be
Okay. Good news, Misty. You were right about the Guardian. I need to come talk to Gerd.
Oh, very well then. Does it need to be now, or can you join me for a drink?
Perhaps I'll see you at the bar in an hour.
Don't be a stranger.
I'm gonna leave and search for Gerd.
Gerd, you are with Merlini while this is taking place.
All right. What is going on?
There are a few things that I feel that should be said.
All right.
There have been omens.
What kind of omens?
You understand that I've never been comfortable with the Republic's way of treating you. You understand
Yes.
that their view on life is very poor for people such as myself.
Of course.
I am fearful that if the Buran have said what they're saying, and this is only an interpretation of it, you, as a human, they be seen as part of this structure that needs to be torn down. They are of the Fae. They have a very different view on life, and that is a thing that I'm afraid of.
Well, whatever will happen in the end, me and my companions will do everything we can to stop the Buran's plan from coming true. That is what we devote ourselves to next.
I must also confess that I do not know all the details. Neither do you. But what you have said, they have the right idea, but their ambition is so misguided. They sound as if they have some reason to, but again, Fae seem very reasonable. They may say one thing but mean another. They do not think the same way as we do. I can understand this as my own lineage has tendencies that I have to be aware of in my own actions. So when you say
Alright.
these things, and I know your strength very well, but I am still concerned for what might come. The final thing. Your sister
Yes.
worships a mad person. They are called the Great Betrayer for a reason. They betrayed anything and everything that they ever stood for, over and over and over again. And you do not get a name of the Great Betrayer simply because you did one foul deed.
I understand where you're coming from. However, having seen what he does now and the way that my sister worships him, the aid he has given to the common good so far, from what I have seen, I cannot help but recognize him as an ally in trying
Recognize him
to.
as an ally all you wish. Do not trust him, and I would advise you to try to talk your sister away from putting her faith in this creature. It is a creature, it is not human, it is not a being, it is a force of magic only concerned with its own life and its own ends. This is precisely how the Dead Three started. As far as I understand, the Dead Three were to be four.
Alright.
Which is all that I'm saying. Be cautious. I know that religion was never the line that you decided to take, and I understand this is not for everybody. Just be cautious.
I trust you. I believe you. I will keep it in mind.
And she
Of course.
gives you a hug.
She gets the biggest squeeze Gert has ever given in a hug for anyone apart from me.
And she kind of leans back from the hug. Whatever
Gert
happens
is-
with the gaze to stay safe. Please.
You as well. I need to be able to talk to you the next time I have a crazy adventure, or it won't be worth having the adventure at all.
I think people are typing in the wrong chat because I'm getting.
Yeah, you guys are
Sorry.
typing in a Wednesday, not the secret.
Alright.
Alright.
It looks like she would say something. Instead, a slow smile across her face and just hits you on the shoulder.
Ow!
Think
Gert
about
goes
crazy
and a
adventures.
little. What?
I don't even ever think about crazy adventures. She shakes her head and walks away.
Well, it's what happens when you try to help people, is my experience. Things turn crazy quite often. The part she places, like a bit of blood trickles out, and he goes like, "God damn it!" As the Gert is on like 50 health out of 100. You know, hurt.
Melania opens the door and comes face to face with May. Oh, sorry. She steps back and lets you pass.
Hey sis,
Gerd,
what's up?
I've just gained a little bit of insight that you should know about.
Alright.
You know how the BRN are attacking people of power. They
That's
want
what they said.
to take down the system or whatever. Gerd, our family is part of that system.
You only just realized this, May?
I only just
Our
got
dad's
confirmation.
an archmage.
But our people, but we're not doing anything bad. We're not doing anything.
They don't care. They just send people in power. I'm part of the Order of Tempest, the Order of the Blade. That puts me in that line already. That's part of the Lyceum. That also puts him there. You're part of your church. And the Dragon Sanctuary, which also puts you in a place of power. Kiva's part of her order, which also puts her in a place of power. And both Ida and Misty are part of an influential Darau family, which puts both of them in a place of power.
So we're all
of
going to
us are in
die.
the same- No, we are not going to die, May. We are going to beat them. We're going to stop the winter from ever taking place. That's the
How?
whole point. How? I don't exactly have that figured out yet. I'm hoping that we can get there together, you know. At least we will be able to inform both Father, as we will have to inform Father of this. And he's gonna give us a hell of a time for it. Then we also have to inform both the Order of the Blade, and we have to inform the Dragon Sanctuary about what is going on with the Biran, because it will affect them if what we think is gonna happen is gonna happen. We need to prepare everyone as much as we can, which will be hard. Which will also mean we will need to get into a place of more authority ourselves to make it easier to prepare. This is gonna be a shit show, sis. I hope you're ready for that. I hope you're ready for meeting that. That's gonna be...
Don't worry, I have it all figured out. I'm gonna get a gauntlet made, and I'm just gonna wear it on my hand. I can also mask it with concentration, but the gauntlet will be extra.
You're gonna have to get it enchanted with like some masking magic, because I'm pretty sure that's gonna see through anything that's just...
No, I can already mask it myself. I just extra insurance with the gauntlet, because if he says something that surprises me,
mask it right now, and I'm gonna do my best to see through it. My 100%.
Okay. I'm gonna mask my arm.
Okay, I'm gonna... Is it a perception or an arcana to see through what is on her arm? Or like see that? JC?
JC's not paying attention.
No, he's getting something.
I've got a lot of messages coming at me.
Ah, I'm sorry, man.
It's okay.
Is it...
What was your question?
So, Jasmine has said that she can hide her arms thingy thing. So she has hidden it, and I am now gonna do my full 100% best to spot
Okay.
the change. Is it Arcana or Perception or Investigation? Or...
That would be an investigation against your spell save DC.
Alright. Investigation.
I also
Here we
realised why I was
go.
coming in so faintly. I was on the wrong microphone, so I should be coming in a lot louder now. I could be deafening people. I don't know it.
Ooh, you're fine for me. So I rolled a 12 total. So I just grab your hand and I stare it over real quick, and I literally bring it up to my face to the point where you feel my breath on it, and I turn it around in an uncomfortable way, and you go, "Wah!" And then I turn it back around, and I go, "No, this might even fool Father."
Right?
Well, I
Especially if I put
wouldn't
on a
bet on
gauntlet.
I
Wear
still
long
wouldn't
sleeves?
bet on it. A lot.
If it comes down to it, I'll tell him, okay?
This. If you wear one long sleeve, you're gonna have to wear both. Otherwise, it'll be really suspicious.
Gerd, no shit.
I'm just saying. Anytime I see someone with one long sleeve, it's obvious they're hiding something on their arm. Do you want to
I'll
go
wear
grab a
2
drink,
long
sis?
sleeves.
We need a drink. I need a drink.
Yes.
You need a drink.
Yes.
Let's go get a drink. Make our way to the tavern.
The night for all of you is enjoyable. There is a great sense of relief within the air, and a lot of people are very thankful for both the news that they are nearest and dearest are being both treated and that they have been returned. The night continues with revelry, with song and with story, and as you each find a bed, a barn, a hayloft, or someone else's bed to spend the night in, I believe the morning comes slow, grey, and for the first time there is a unusual feeling to all of you. Those of you that had items in your possession, those of you that stood by and let it happen, now that that has been addressed, the soul drain ends.
Oh.
Oh!
Yay!
Oh, that's what. Oh, now it all makes sense. Well, nearly makes sense, but sort of makes sense. I got my 1 HP back. Yes.
Yay, long rest.
Yes.
All ended.
Oh, my
my
key!
All my health. All the next level.
As
Everything.
each of you whoop and cheer in your own way, there was someone who was not quite as revelrous as the rest in the previous night. Ida, I believe you had something you wished you wanted to do.
You're
Muted.
That's the face of someone who didn't realise.
The smile is so good.
Oh, hi there, everybody. Hello. So, you had something you wished to do
Yes.
in the
So,
previous night. The
Ida,
morning.
when she gets up, she doesn't quite notice the lack of the soul drain yet. She had slept thinking on things, and she had an idea. So, first time, she is going to... Oh wait, I have to do something first. I need to roll the charges for the Weave Whispers spell. See if I have enough to do it anyway, so fuck it. She's going to use 4 charges of the Weave Whispers crystal in place of the material components for divination. And Ritual cast that because
Very well.
there's a few things just occurred to her. Firstly, that the Buron are hypocrites, that they did not intervene on the behalf of the downtrodden that were literally right next to them. We had to do that. And secondly, their method might not be as genuine as they thought. So, Ida is going to ask for God, what if we beat them to the punch? What will they do?
Oh, yeah.
What if we personally solve the issues of justice, of injustice in the nearby towns and cities, going from one to the other and cleaning them all up in that year's time? What will the Buran do if by some miracle they manage to pull this off?
Okay. And what is it that you use as your focus for the spell? Just the crystal, right?
Mm-hmm, the crystal.
Okay. You take the crystal in your palms, cupping it and feeling the pulsing warmth of the magic stored within. And as you look into it, a familiar sense, one that was very recently introduced to you by Claudius, overtakes you. And as you stare into it, it's almost as if your entire being falls into the crystal.
Okay.
What you see is almost incomprehensible of how large it is. It is a tree of worlds. It is a tree that stretches in all directions at once, and yet somehow you can still grasp that this is
Sorry, my inside.
a single grand entity. And you watch fire begin to consume the bottom of the tree. And between heartbeats, the fire spreads across the entire limb of this massive substance. And it funnels, rocketing skywards, fountaining as if champagne released from a cork. It just disappears off, and you see that tree begin to weaken, to crumble, to die. And you watch that flame begin to curve. It touches one of the branches, and another one, and eventually this ring forms around the tree, and the tree itself shifts, as if you're looking down, top down upon it. You see rings upon rings upon rings. You see the flame continue to connect them. And that flame begins to sputter. You shoot into one of these branches, a leaf upon the mighty tree, and you see people celebrate. You see cages crack. You watch as oceans rise, as things from underneath are pushed away. And it zooms back out, and that flame that had been sputtering begins to reignite anew. And the vision ends.
Wow. People looked happy. End of that. Thank you.
You feel your sword hum a little bit, then go
Okay.
quiet.
Okay. Okay, we have a root cut out of this, don't we? Okay. Sure. And Ida is going to proceed to get ready and find everyone else to discuss her idea.
I believe everybody would be gathered around the breakfast table. Verlaine, Rassinus, a few other important peoples that you know, dining, and you'd probably be the last one to arrive.
Yeah, I took forever on that. I checked that. I make some semblance of checking what the time was, and I'm like, oh, I guess that took longer than I thought it did. Hi, hello. How's
Morning,
everyone
Ida.
doing? Good morning.
Sleep well?
Yeah, it was a most productive sleep, actually.
Productive sleep? How does that work?
Well, sometimes sometimes I struggle to connect dots, to think through things in the moment. I sometimes need to sleep on it, just think about it for a little bit.
Yes.
So I did that, and I had an idea.
Alright.
And it's not quite what I expect you will all want, but what if we did it for them?
What?
What pros the whole world? I think that's a bit outside my power band.
I don't.
No,
plan
not
on
that.
anybody.
They're the Piran skull, albeit badly, is to correct injustice, right? They're bad at it.
Very
They let a
loosely,
whole-
I'd say.
They let a whole bunch of people literally right next to them die just because it wasn't part of their exact goal.
Yes.
So that's what I'm thinking. They're bad at it. What if we were better at it?
I like the
What if
way you're
we-
thinking.
What if we do their job for them?
You mean
Clean up the corruption, improve people's lives, go from town to town, city to city, fix the problems.
that's a
Then-
lot, though?
Yes, it is.
I mean, someone will have to. I guess.
I
Let's do that.
would rather spend our time doing that and maybe picking up some information about the roundabout delay in case they decide that what we did isn't good enough for them.
So, you're saying that we should focus on just cleaning up the corruption that we can find around any of the towns here?
Anywhere
And
we
that
go.
might help stop the Buran because they won't have any reason to continue their plan? Does that make sense?
Yes!
Huh.
So
Because, like, they have a reason, they have a goal, right? But they suck at it. They don't want to actually do the work. They're going to basically... They don't want to do any of the real work that involves changing people. They want to just snap their fingers and have it done.
All right. I guess
But-
I sort of get what you mean.
Yeah, but because we're mortal, we're normal people, relatively speaking. Maybe not so normal, but we're people, right? We live here, we've walked here. He floated over us, delivering that speech, right? He's above us. They don't live down here. They don't
understand our perspective.
They don't understand
Well,
anyone's perspective. They just look and see disgust. They see something gross. So,
This will be like killing two birds with one stone. We'll take care
Yes.
of a lot of corruption in the country as best as we can, as well as stop the Buran from doing.
And
Ida, you're
if-
a genius.
and if they still decide to try and do their thing, then they'll have proven themselves hollow and hypocrites.
And we
and
will
I
fight
will
against
have-
them the best we can.
Exactly.
You're a
Kiva,
genius, Ida.
Well, then it seems I'll have to accelerate certain plans.
Kiva sort of arrives downstairs at this point, very dishevelled. Like, just sort of the. You've seen Kiva like this in mornings where after a hard fight, or a particularly long day where she's been doing a lot of healing and she's like. And making a vague beeline for wherever smells of coffee. Much info.
Ida's gonna lean closer to Misty and just point at Kiva. Did she have sex last night?
No, Dad. She got really drunk.
Oh, different price. Okay.
Right. So, well, I guess our first destination is Arias, since
Araya.
we have to go there for our brother's competition anyway.
On
No,
that note,
missus.
I told May this last night, but we should be safe to take refugees to Orion now.
How do you?
Good, because I
huh?
was gonna suggest doing that anyway.
Can all of you ask for divination from your deity? Like, I never knew. What the hell? That's a useful ability, guys.
It's an ability that I just recently gained, Gerd. You know I tell you everything.
I
I mean,
also
you-
recently learned
Yeah, I
mine.
know you do, but
Mhm.
I guess it's new then.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as I
That's
said,
like-
that's a great plan. We'll have to find out where to start. But as I said, we have our brother's event to attend to within the next week, if I remember right.
Araya's a good. Well, Araya's literally the nearest place. This town doesn't even have anything I would consider corruption at this point. It's in the
I mean,
middle of
of
a
course
refugee crisis. Everyone's trying to leave.
Of course not. It has great management.
Ida, darling, I have plans I will need your assistance with.
Hmm?
I'll give you a hint for now. Valchanes.
Have I ever heard that before? Is that like
What?
a special thing for Drow?
Probably.
JC, you speaking?
JC.
I can't hear you if you are.
I will leave that for Misty to say if she decides to explain it more. It's a very Misty thing to do.
I am not explaining anymore, but Ida, I will message you because you would know.
Yes,
No,
that's what I
just
figured was
absolutely.
going to happen.
Give
Yeah.
Eva having a ride with having got coffee and food, just sort of slumps down next to Gerd.
Hey, Kiva. Did you sleep
Hey,
okay?
Kiva!
Coffee first.
That's okay. Here, have an extra sausage, and I'm gonna put a sausage on your plate.
There's just sort of a grumble. There's sort of it's like, the undertone of the grumble is happy, but it's also someone is very much not awake yet.
Okay.
It's okay.
So with name given, with
Yep.
course set, with people probably in the first time in this group's existence really come to an alignment, I would say that you are officially a party.
I'd say
Everyone
so.
increase your piety by 2.
Ooh!
Oh!
Yay!
Have reached the milestone of finishing Cairnborough and also reached the milestone of becoming a party.
Ooh! Nice. High fives all around, guys.
Nice.
Woohoo!
Over the next few days, your travel to Araya is...
Wait.
Yes?
Before we go to Araya, can I buy a glove? How much would it cost to buy a
Oh,
gauntlet?
they'll give it
put
to you
over
for
my
free. It's you guys.
Oh.
You get anything you fucking want at the moment.
we are the heroes of Kirimbureau,
Yeah.
guys. We
So
did
it
good.
takes, I believe it will take 2 days, with everybody walking, and unless you guys want to go ahead of everybody.
I think we'd escort them at this point, right?
Yeah, I
'Cause
think
we
we'd
have the
escort them.
time
Alrighty.
for the thing. And, you know...
You
it
make
would
your
be
way across
nice.
the rolling hills and through the foot traffic paths that reside along the rivers. And it is indeed a very beautiful place, Araya. And when you see the city of Araya, it's a very nice thing to be home for a lot of you. Araya sits a massive walled city, a fortress town if you will, though very many peoples now live beyond the ancient and grand walls. Expanded 3 times over, yet still the city grew to the point where it became impossible to house everyone within the walls. 2 immense aqueducts fly high overhead. As you approach in your horse-drawn wagon, thundering past faster than most things you have ever seen aside from teleportation, a massive engine of industry shoots along one of these aqueducts towards the city. The large spire that denotes the center of the city rising as the origin and end point for many of these gravity trains. The Lover's Triangle does not quite greet you from your angle of access, but it is hardly difficult to see where it is. Quickly within the streets you hear people hawking the busyness of food vendors, horses, wagons, carts, vendors, vintners, musicians, bards, clerics. And all around you you see signs of impending enthusiasm. Paper streamers are already being hung up in between buildings. Paint is rapidly being redone on places that probably don't really need it, but are getting it anyway. As the first signs of Lupercalia begin to strike the land in the city of Araya. Upon the high spire that dominates many of the parts, also known as the dais, or the dial, depending on who you're asking and depending on where in the city you're from. You can tell that you have made extremely good time, and after only one sleep out in the wild, you make your way into the city proper. Almost immediately upon entering the city, Misty, you receive a message.
Yep.
A familiar, chilling, almost emotionless voice, expectant, demanding, authoritative, that which brooks no argument. A quest awaits you. Receive it. Come to me. I expect reports. You understand this to be the Bounty Hunting Guild and your mother's voice.
Let me just roll deception to hide my distaste. Yep, I'm fine.
All around you, though, if I may, one last thing before we go on break. All around you, though, there are signs that, though the city vast, populous, numerous, rich, wealthy, Kiva, May, it's hard, once you've seen it, not to notice those small blips. Viewed from a great distance, Araya is a haven, a place of prosperity. But going inside, slavery is a very dirty mark and casts a long shadow under the dial. And that is where we will take a break. And we will cut for a few minutes, so we will be back shortly. Everyone needs to get a drink. I know I really, really need one. I've been dealing pretty well with it until now.
A lot.
Indeed, I have been. I've enjoyed it though, because we've done a hell of a lot of combat recently, and I'm really happy that we managed to get all things. Yeah, exactly. All things combat should be at an end for at least a little bit, unless somebody puts their foot in it again, which you have an amazing ability to do. I do not doubt your ability.
Of all charges regarding instigating shite.
We will be.
It's Misty's fault, and she should feel bad.
We will be back.
And I got punched.
We'll be back shortly, so be right back, everybody. See you shortly.
See you in a bit.
See you guys.
Oh.
I tried. I can't put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah.
I like this song. It's from Dragon Force, the land when dragons ruled. It's great.
Okay, bring us across in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back. So, as you have arrived into Araya, your home for most of you, or a home base, if not a home for everyone else. The city is coming to life as the beginnings of the celebration of Lupercalia is taking place. Lupercalia is a week-long festival, and you have arrived pretty much the day before its actual announcement and beginnings. The last-minute preparations are taking place. All around you, the architecture screams of dragon heraldry and dwarven strength. It is a very strange combination, as Bahamut being one of the prime deities, this is indeed a very Bahamutian city. With both a dragon sanctuary, a place where dragons are raised, drakes and wyverns can also be found, and overhead you can see them carrying instruments of mail and limited cargo for those very lucky enough to afford it, from point to point.
JC, 1 second. After you're done, please.
Absolutely. The cobbled streets around you clop quite loudly, but there is definitely an element of... I think the city's attention is drawn to other places, as the magical events that lead up to the, shall we say, gauntlet that those who are wishing to graduate into and from Reading are going to be taking place, and a lot of people are talking about it. This one I will do, and then I'll turn to you, Jasmine. Could everybody roll me a perception check?
14.
Yes.
Okay, so Robin, 14. You don't get anything, I'm afraid.
Everyone roll perception check. Ooh, I forgot
18,
that included me.
Okay.
You're
18.
part of us all, Jazz, too.
Yeah, I need to look at my dice.
Ida,
17.
15. Kiva,
19.
17, 18, 19.
Natural 20.
And a natural 20. Okay, so unfortunately, Gerd, you are the one that will be left out
I'm
of this.
entranced by like the preparations and everything.
Okay.
It's way bigger than I thought.
Each of you keep track of those numbers, because I just realised I don't have the document open because I'm an idiot. Thought I did, but apparently it's not. So I'll grab them for you in just a moment. May, you said you wanted something? Ow.
Do, 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 do. Breaking the silence. Da, 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 da. Do, do,
Yeah.
da, da, da. No one likes da da do 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 do.
Ow! Fuck. Alright. Oh, they're back.
Backstory thing question. That not for stream and not for player ears yet.
Ooh.
So, I will turn it over to you. I'm going to suspect there might be a bit of a group ushering towards the bounty hunting guild.
Yes, because Missy just goes, I just remembered something.
What's
I
wrong,
think
Misty?
a good place to start with today might be heading towards the Bounty Hunters Guild. Besides, I have some business to conduct there. Should we have a
What
look?
sort of business? Wait, why would the bounty hunter boy be? That's like kind of not. But listen, the people didn't.
I mean, it would No, hold on, Ida. Misty's onto something. The Bounty Hunter Guild keeps record of what crimes are going on and what bounties are being placed, so it might be
I'm.
an okay
To some degree,
place.
who's placing them if the system's being abused?
That's a very good question.
Okay. That's
I'm
a good
gonna
point. Let's go do that.
I'm gonna go handle things with the hierarch.
Oh.
Are you going to go immediately?
I think the sooner I talk to her, the better.
All right.
Would you like company?
I don't mind. I know my way well enough, and the people around here recognize the symbol well enough. I'll be okay.
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 So as Kiva departs from the group heading off into the city streets, we'll come back to Kiva in a moment. So, the Bounty Hunting Guild is quite a... not opulent, because that's not the right word, but it definitely has the luxury of affording large glass panels, tinted and refracting in light, large steel beams decorated and carved, covered in stone that has elements of filigree attached to it as well. So it's quite an unusual building that stands out from its contemporaries, as it is one of the only buildings that doesn't really rise high up. It is a somewhat lower building, but very big in its floor plan. Imagine if someone were to buy this, you would, in the modern day, it would very much be that's a perfect place to build a skyscraper. It's only 3 stories tall, and at the top of it there is a very distinct symbol of a set of what was it again? It's a set of shackles with the set of shackles are used as the scales of justice, with one end closed and one end open.
Is it a sign I know?
This is just the sign of the guild.
Oh, the sign of the Bounty Hunter Guild.
That's grim imagery.
Right, so we would have known that.
Yeah, I
well,
never really
actually,
cared for it either.
you probably do understand. This is one of the very original symbols from when there was kind of redevelopment after the God Plague, and the symbology. Actually, roll a history for me.
All right.
Misty, you know this. You don't need to, but everyone else can roll a history.
For the 7. Hold on. 17.
17. Anyone else wish to roll? Okay, 17. It's a symbol that used to stand for shackles are earned, not given. It was that way of if someone has done a crime, they are to be shackled as penance for that and then make reparations. It doesn't quite stand for that anymore.
Did it used to? Do I know if it used to belong to any specific group before it became the general sign of the bounty hunters? Then
Probably not.
Okay. But I do know that it used to be something else before it became
Yes.
what it is now. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. You head inside.
Yes, we do.
Inside, the interior lighting is pretty good at casting various shadows into the nooks and crannies. 1 or 2 of you of the lower perception do not notice that in fact these nooks and crannies are stairwells that lead to secluded barracks, bunks and other places. It's only when an individual steps out of one that you would notice it actually lead anywhere. The reason that your, shall we say, distraction is due to the conversation going on between a gentleman and his escorts and the woman who runs the bounty hunting board as such, the one who gives out and delineates contracts. She, a comely woman of indescribable age, somewhere between that nebulous point of 30 and 50, stands with what could almost be described as a nun's outfit, except less black and more blues and silvers. She is fair enough, and she is having this discussion with this woman, with this gentleman, and there seems to be a little bit of negotiating going on, or some level of disagreement happening.
Do I know the people having the disagreement currently?
Feel free to roll a. What would this be? Feel free to make a perception.
Perception it is. Well,
12. Well, even with a 12, that still tells you some things. One thing it tells you is that this individual is a mage. They are standing in the very distinctive robes worn by Lyceum students and graduates. Their year is not in your repertoire, and their school is not in your repertoire.
I classify them under unimportant. Okay. But and the woman they're talking to, I assume, is the head of the. You said it was the head of the Bounty Hunters Guild.
She's
who
not
runs
the
it?
head of it, but she is the one who handles the contracts. The one who runs it is a person with many rumors and many faces.
I understand. Okay, they're the front, but they're service desk essentially. Okay, I just look at them, walk up to the front desk, and just put my hands on the desk, make eye contact with them both, and wait.
As you walk up to the desk, one moment. As you walk up to the desk,
Aha!
As you walk up to the desk and place your hands on it, looking this gentleman and his escorts in the eye, and then looking to the woman, your eyes snap back to the gentleman's escorts. They are wearing quite nice attire, silver plate, silver scale with shields, and carrying many an item that seems far too much for the given situation. The woman says, "I'm sorry, Sir Hamburg, I understand that you have pressing need for individuals, but with the strenuous tasks that are being taken presently, with the preparation for Lupercalia, we are not really in a present state to hire out any of our individuals, unless these individuals are willing and part of the bounty." She kind of catches Misty. There may be some room for negotiation, but I will leave that for you to discuss with the clientele. Miss Delmorin, this is Lord of the Spire, Calcifer Hamburg. They are inquiring about a security and investigative information, and at present our current resources are lacking. I assume that your previous contract is due for completion?
What was my previous contract? That was a while ago.
She goes over to a lockbox, pops it open, and very expertly pulls out a scroll, reads it, and unfolds it, laying it out on the table. I believe it was this one. It was to explore some ruins.
Yes, that is complete.
Very well. She puts the paper on it, stabs it over a tack, and you can see where on one side is where you initiated the contract with a thumbprint, and on the other side where the tack is for contract completion. If you would mind once again, just with the usual signature.
Sure. Yeah, I do the thing.
Thumb on the top of the tack, a small prick, and a small wince, mark of blood, and the contract rolls itself up, goes into the air, and then into a plume of ash and smoke as it magically alerts those who are in hiring of it that the contract was completed. As part of the agreement, she goes over to another box and opens it up and pulls out 5 bags, putting down at 500 gold.
And I just pick, and I just like mage hand one or two of them, and just throw them at the party one by one, thoop, 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 and take mine.
Can I attempt to catch it in like my bag? Like,
Easy enough done. You are dexterous enough to do it.
I am not, but I can.
So, Miss. Yes. Sorry,
One quick
go
thing.
on, Jason.
May. May.
May.
Sorry.
May.
I'm here.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You positive?
Yes.
The
Sure.
gentleman beside you. There's something ever so slightly familiar about him.
I'm going to look at them.
And you look at him. Luke, would you like to describe your character?
Certainly. So, before you is Calcifer Hamburg. He's dressed in very fine clothing indeed, with a series of burgundies and dark reds and blacks, and some gold accoutrement and pins on his character, on his person. He has a slight receding hairline and a waxed moustache and goatee combination. On his left side, where he has a slight overthrown cloak over his shoulder, he has a pin of Lathander on him, and on the other side is the symbol of Hamburg.
Do I know you?
I believe I know. Well, perhaps. I think we have met before at a function, perhaps. Can I make a quick perception or to
Absolutely.
discern?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll look over their party and see if I'm aware of anyone.
Do I know
For
the name that he said?
physically present, you will not. So you don't know Kiva is with my character is with the party.
Okay, so I've got a 17.
17.
Can I do the same, Lacey, to him?
Absolutely.
As she
Is it
is
history?
pointing him out,
Yep.
can I do the same as well?
Well, your party is like here in presence. Missy is the one that stepped forward to the counter and has the one that was interacting with the
I did a 24.
24.
I do also have a signet ring on. If anyone does have a perception check high enough to see that.
I'd say with a 24. What was yours, Gerd?
Mine is a 10.
10. You look
I'm
at the
great at
gentleman
this.
and it doesn't ring a bell, which isn't really that surprising as you were not overly one to attend your father's functions. May, though, being glib of tongue and perceptive of ear, you have had a little small level of interaction with doing the lordly business that your father has often been dragged into. Calcifer Hamburg, the Hamburg line, much in the same way as the Kihon line, are lords of the spires. Specifically, the Hamburg line is related to the Necromancy Spire, which is seen as one of the lowest spires and has very few applicants or affiliates. Though your father, being who he is, probably is one of the few people that doesn't judge a book quickly on its character.
Even necromancy after what he went through?
I mean,
Consider that enchantment involves literally forcibly subverting people's
Hold
will.
hold on one
I-
second.
I
Let me
think
remind you
that-
of this. He was a vampire at one point, dear sister.
For like 30 minutes.
You don't know that.
How much of this was said in character, though?
Nothing.
There we go. I noticed
Yeah,
you.
moving on.
I noticed you all giving me a glare, and I introduced myself, of course. My name is Calcifer Hamburg of the Spire Hamburgs. Did I notice any with the perception check I had on them? Did I notice any identifying iconography on them?
Oh yeah, probably.
You, I would say, you probably recognise May, and that's why the two of you were like, "Do we know?" Yes, now I remember. And it has been, as I say, a number of years. May hasn't really been part of the spirally court, shall we say. for a number of years. You're not sure what, it was never any of your business, but there was definitely a recognition there. I would say of the others, of the others present, only Misty you would know by reputation as a very proficient bounty hunter. They were, might still be, could be, are they still, with tutelage of another bounty hunter that did work with your family once before, known as Asatur.
Okay, so I would say to May then, I think I know your father. I think I met yourselves at a function before, perhaps.
I'm starting to think so as well. How have you been?
I've been, honestly, not too bad. Unfortunately, recent events have bucked the norm. And that's why I'm here, actually. Am I to understand that you are affiliated with these fine people?
Yes. That's my brother, and that's Ida and Misty. They're my friends.
Misty gives
When you say Ida's name, someone just like happened to shove like past her, and she like did a little and like jumped forward to like present herself. Hi.
He gives you a warm smile and goes, "Of course, a pleasure to make your acquaintance."
Misty
Now,
gives
I believe-
an overly theatrical bow at her mention as well.
Gerd just does raises his hand and goes, "Hi, I'm Gerd."
Then perhaps you would all do me the great honour. I've been told that the resources are currently strained, and perhaps you would do me the great honour of taking on a bounty for me, or per se a job.
So you wish to hire Woe's End, is it?
I had not realised this was a party matter, but I certainly would, if that is your name. I know for certain that at least, and I gestured to Misty, the good lady here is of note and proficient from, and certainly sorry, trip over my own words, of note and certainly of a certain level of prestige in the bounty hunting community.
And I see my reputation precedes me. Good. I should be recognized. So, what are the details of this job? Shall we find a side room?
Certainly. Why do you not accompany me somewhere private to speak about this? Not for prying ears, of course.
Of course.
Do you wish to have one of the rooms at the guild, or are you going to go to?
I think, if possible, I'd like to have the carriage brought round and have them attend my estate.
You have an estate, alright?
Up on the dial.
Wonderful.
It's certainly certainly nothing against your fine people, but this is not a matter for everyone to hear, I think.
I appreciate that that you must look out for your own interests.
The question is, do you go with Sir Hamburg?
Yeah.
I got a
so.
whiff of an idea of what this sort of thing might be about, so I think I will. Definitely.
May, do you?
Oh, go on.
Okay.
Well, if all of y'all are going, I'm going with. Ain't
Oh,
got
actually,
nothing to do right now.
Actually, I'll go. A moment, though, if you please, and I'll turn to the lady at the front. Was there any other particular quest that was left for me?
She has a double check through her box. Yes, this was sent, and she takes a quest, a bounty, sealed at present. It was instructed to be delivered to House Delmorin at the earliest convenience, but as we're running low, she passes it to you. It was instructed for your mother.
Awesome. I'm afraid I have some other business I must attend to first. However, I would be delighted to make your acquaintance later. Might I meet you at your estate?
Certainly, I'll send. If I'll retire for now, But I'll leave the carriage here with instructions to take you up at your earliest convenience. Please see to any current work you have to do before coming to see me. I certainly understand the press of time.
Thank you very much, darling. You're a peach. And I wink and I walk away.
I think Ida was trying to grab your
Oh,
attention.
sorry.
Well, not Misty's attention. Missy's free to go. Actually, I wanted to grab the new guys, customers. I don't have any pressing concerns. Do you have somewhere at your estate? Is there somewhere quiet that I could practice?
Practice what, per se?
Not a particularly destructive kind of magic.
Certainly, there are plenty of rooms for arcane study at my hold.
Ida, would you mind if I joined you in that?
You're all, of course, welcome, but the carriage will only fit so many.
Okay. Yeah,
We have our
that's
own carriage.
that's what I'm saying. We also have one more member of our group that is currently not here. They are at the temple of their order. So we.
That should not be a problem. What is the name of their order? Who is the? What is the name of their order?
Do you want
I
to
did-
roll,
just like-
history?
Yes. I'm not kidding you. I just rolled in that one.
I'm pretty sure I wrote it down somewhere.
So wait, none of you know the name
Wait.
of the.
Well, a few
I know.
things happened which made them kind of stop mentioning their name for a little bit, as it was kind of hectic. So it's been a while since I last heard them say the name. Was it Saint Calandra?
I have it written down.
This is on you guys.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, it is.
I know that Kiva worships Palor. I know
Yeah, that I know, but I don't know what your order is called.
Temple of the Golden Sun.
The temple.
They,
of the
they
Golden-
follow, they follow Paler, and they are all about.
You completely forgot it.
Hold on, they follow Paler, and they are all about disaster relief. Does that ring any bells to you?
For me, well, let me
Oh, I
see.
wrote it down somewhere.
So I'll have my guy do a history check.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I know about it at the moment.
That's a 19.
19. Ironically, Gerd, you were right. It's the Order of Saint Calandra.
It's the Order of Saint Calandra.
Yep.
I'm
I
so
took,
sorry, Mel, but at the same time, hats off to my own stupidity.
I'm writing this down now.
If I may,
Very good to know what they do, but completely forget the extra bit that says precisely who they're affiliated with. Not that they've been wearing a tabard, a surcoat, with the symbol of Palor and the Order on their chest the entire time.
Hey, I'm wearing a symbol of Tempest on my chest too, you know.
what I find brilliant about it is the fact that Kiva goes, "Hello, I'm Kiva of the Order of Saint Calandra," just in the same way as Misty goes, "I'm Misty of House Delmorn," and Ida goes, "Hello, I'm Ida of House Delmorn." You know, it's that way of like this is like her last name.
That's why I felt so bad about it.
The shame is being
Hey,
real.
right.
Yeah. So as long as she is made aware of where to go, there's I wouldn't mind going to your estate early ahead of everyone else just to have a quiet place if you don't mind. This city is really, really big and really loud.
Well, certainly it's not a problem. But one moment, I'll take out a pen, a quill, and pen, and sorry, a quill and ink. I failed on the word entirely there, and write up a missive. Whilst to now, what was the name of your friend?
Kiva.
Kiva.
Yeah.
Don't forget the weird ass
As we
spelling.
spell it out, you see Kauhime Lireal.
L'Oreal.
Yeah,
Okay.
see the name that they have? That's what it spells at. Don't ask
Even
why.
L'Oreal. It's Irish.
That's not a
Yeah.
problem.
Whenever
I
I see it, I
to-
read Calmy.
It took me like 7 sessions to be able to pronounce her name. Because every time I went cow,
Kiva.
Saint Calandra, right? The Order of Saint
Saint-
Calandra.
Yes.
Saint Calandra. I address this to the Order of Saint Calandra. I address this then further down to Kiva, I believe you said.
Yes.
There are, as attached to the bounty hunter guilds, every guild and large organization has messenger hawks that you can use to send missives across the city.
Oh, that's not a problem. I have people to do that.
That's true.
So I write up a letter, and basically to the effect of, to the Order of Saint Calandra, addressed to Lady Calandra. Please could you, at your earliest convenience, arrive for a meeting with Calcifer Hamburg at the estate as addressed below. Your party of these members are already present. Faithfully yours, Lord Calcifer Hamburg. Please present this letter upon the gates.
Okay.
And I hand it over to. I hand that letter over to Walter. I say, Walter, if you would, and Walter then sees to actually sending it.
But of course, my lord. And he makes his way out to go and deliver.
I then take a quick mental count of how many people there, and hold a finger up to two fingers up, and cast message, and just make I believe Fiara aware that we're going to have guests, and to make the place presentable.
At once, my lord.
Thank you kindly. So yes, now upon your convenience, we shall make ways towards towards our destination.
It's as convenient for me as it is anytime. But May, do remember we have to visit Ismark before the competition goes down.
Yes, the competition's not in a couple of days, and Claudius
Yeah.
will be arriving here with Ismark, so I don't believe they're actually in the city yet.
That's a good point.
I'll be staying at the sanctuary, just in case they arrive, because I did tell them to go there.
Okay. Do you wish to leave instructions at the sanctuary on the way that if Claudius comes knocking to come and find you? Like where to come find you?
I'll be at the I'll be going, sleeping at the sanctuary.
Oh, okay, right, I get you.
That's what I meant. I'll be staying at the sanctuary.
Okay, so the group of Ida, Gerd, May, and Lord Hamburg make their way to the Hamburg estate upon the Dial. That brings us neatly as they travel. The camera panned through the roof, shoots across the city, and comes down onto a humble cleric making their way into a resplendent palace of sun, white marble, and plated gold. The entire hall, gleaming mosaic. Can find two words there, it was impressive. Museum. A gleaming museum it is now. It's known as the Gleaming Museum. A gleaming museum. As you head inside, a few people clock you, but there are others that they are dealing with, and they kind of give the nod before returning back to them. You need no introduction, and you need no guidance, as this is a place... Hello, Gizmo. This is a place that you know well. Where would you like to go?
She will head straight to. She will go and find. Hang on. Guess who needs to put their own backstory here?
Was it Theodora that you're wanting to go talk to?
Yeah. So she'd want to sort of. Yeah. So the Exarch is Neve. She'd want to go and speak to Neve.
Okay.
But she'd also probably want to grab a quick chat with Dorian. Just sort of give Dorian a heads up that she's back in the city at the moment.
Okay.
Just sort of grab one, just go, hey, can someone just let Dory know I'm back? I need to go speak to the Exarch.
A missive will be sent. They are currently at present making arrangements for the trials to come.
Understood. Thank you. And we'll make a beeline for the Exarch's office, hoping that the Exarch is available.
The Exarch doesn't quite exactly have an office per se, as the entire building is kind of foreseen as their domicile and their domain. They are free to move at liberty. You, though, as a friend, as a close confidant, and as a squire who was deemed most promising among your peers for the training and thus your selection into the order, you know that, given the time of day and the peak of the sun's height, Exarch Neve will most likely be in the central chamber where the sun's rays can come down in its greatest strength. As you move through the open plan corridors, the coolness of the marble begins to give way to the not unnatural, but certainly divinely enhanced heat that radiates from the centre and billows out. A few tapestries begin to ripple slightly as you pass by. Inside, pacing almost trance-like in their prayers, the mid-morning sun, you see Neve. Would you like to introduce Neve, actually?
So Neve is a Exarch. Neve McCullen is a wood elf paladin, tall, and for an whilst the stereotype of elves is slender, Neve is tall, like 6 foot something, and very powerfully built. Long dark hair flowing down on her back, with tied in a loose ponytail, with its skin battered by long years in the sunlight, scars decorating the parts of skin that are revealed by the shorter sleeved robes, though the vambraces remain on her forearms, and a blade that seems to glow permanently attached at her side.
If you give me one moment, as I'm going to send over the snippets that everyone got. Okay, what did everybody get in their perception rolls? Gerd, you do actually get one because I have enough. The perception rolls from earlier. What did everybody get?
I got an 18.
18. Okay, let me grab number 18 for you.
19 to Akiva.
I got a 12, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so an 18. 18.
17.
Marauders are harassing the open areas of. Marauders are currently harassing the open areas of Republic. Banditry is on the rise. 17. This is part of an overheard conversation. I hear that little gnomish fellow. I hear that little gnomish fellow at Anatiki Wiki has a trick to navigate the shifting sands. It's quite remarkable. All sorts of knickknacks and antiques for sale as well. Do you need me to repeat that one?
No, I'm good.
Alrighty, 19. I'll change that one to... Triumph Navigations sells all your skyship needs. It's random snippets, I'm sorry. Not all of them are useful.
So what did I get with my 12, JC?
That's what I'm just finding now. 12. Okay. Gibbles, a half-tamed dire rat, roams around the lower parts of the city, begging for treats.
May, I got you. I got you a pet. I heard a rumor. I know you love pets.
And what did you get, Jasmine?
I dropped it. I got a natural 1.
One.
God, we are great at perception, aren't we, sis?
Mm-hmm.
You only overhear the second part of this conversation. Ask me. They should throw. If you ask me, they should throw away the key. Disgusting treatment of their slaves. That was what you got. Returning to Kiva, the Exarch seems to finish their slow procession around the perimeter of the circle, coming to the centre before the light seems to diminish slightly as the sun crests over the final point of the peak. Her brilliant eyes open and she turns. This glorious warm smile blossoms over their features. Kiva?
Exarch, it is good to see you again.
Oh, we must not stand on such formalities. And she comes over and takes you by the wrists. It has been so long. Your travels took you far further and greater afield than I had anticipated.
And we ran into the Buran, which was a whole thing.
The Buran? Is that a bandage group?
I did message you about them. They were basically.
Oh right, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I'd forgotten you messaged them.
No, I didn't. I don't know if I recall explicitly mentioning the name the Buran to her. Oh, sorry. There's a group I messaged you about that are kind of. There's a lot of shit going down. It's been a lot. Oh god. And sort of Kiva just suddenly goes from the. Not necessarily put together, but confident to, oh god, I'm safe. Thank fuck. Mild panic attack follows.
With expert hands, you are both guided, walked, lifted, and pulled in equal measure, but somehow still feels comforting. A hand on the lower back, one under the elbow. Come now, dear. And she moves you out into the gardens in the centre of the. Near the gardens in the rear quarters. The small fluttering of little birds fluttering around, and the lantern tubers giving off soaking up the sunlight for storage for later. You find yourself, before you know it, sitting down on a stone bench, toes out of boots and feeling the grass between them. Right. Let's start with the beginning. You left the City of Glass and Parasine Peaks as the relief effort there no longer warranted, and you returned by Thay'Lude, I believe, and were making your way on foot from there to here. Last I heard, you had left Thay'Lude and had come into contact with some peoples. And then,
you remember my...
The next I heard, you had some difficulties.
So I ran into my friend Misty, you know, the dark elf one.
Misty,
Always flirting.
Misty. She kind of taps the fingers.
The one who keeps flirting with everyone, including you, and it's really uncomfortable.
Ah, yes. A woman who enjoys power.
Yeah, that's what we'll go with, and far too much wine. But to be fair, I don't particularly blame her of late. So on the way back, we were accosted by, and Kiva will basically give, over the course of however long, the full rundown of everything that has happened, complete with brief pauses to have more small panic attacks, because she's processing a lot, poor thing, and this is a very anxiety. There is a point where she just ends up flat on her back, on the grass, armor off, scattered to one side, with Moll firmly laid on her chest. Yes, going, no, stop panicking. There is a big golden retriever just sort of going, this is how I support my human, as they go through, as she goes through all of the stuff that's happened to her, like, with the Buran, explains the threat they've made, mentions that she hasn't had time to sort of investigate whether the Order is considered part of the power structure or not, that the Buran seem to want to destroy, and just sort of dumps. Like, there is a whole stream of consciousness. It's a lot to unpack.
Neve takes it fairly easily in stride, without really much in the way of interrupting. She just lets you unload, because it's evident that your soul is carrying a lot of baggage at the moment, and for lack of better words, and as she apologises, it would seem that your companions aren't quite very good at talking, but not quite so good at listening, it would seem. Not inviting the quiet spaces that you excel in so well. Perhaps it might be an idea to introduce me to your new acquaintances. The only one I know by any form of description or name is Miss Delmorin.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And I think he'd probably benefit from it. Yeah.
Kiva.
Yeah.
And she takes your hands in hers. You have
Around the Labrador.
you have
the treatment.
extreme levels of potential. And as anybody can ever say, potential does not always mean success.
You know.
You have gone out into the world to make a difference, and I believe that you have.
I mean, we rescued all those people and cleansed the entire evil city temple thing.
Precisely. But you are
Also,
but
we've been
one
channelized.
person and but one group. You need not take on everything of the world at once. We are but mortal, and we have our limits. The gods themselves make mistakes. It's okay to breathe.
Kiva will sort of focus on her breathing.
Much better. Now, she kind of runs a hand and effectively lay on handsing the calm emotions equivalent into you. The important questions here, and the important tasks that I will ask you, is what would you have your family do for you? You have an order at your back. You are one with many siblings, many brethren, in many guises and many states. Now, I may not be able to interfere directly in whatever it is that the path that the Lord has decided for you. But that does not mean that I cannot walk it my path alongside yours. Every problem, great or small, always has an origin. Right now, you are in the swell, thrown around in the tornado of so much change and information. Where does that come down to, though? What are the key points that you understand, that you feel you can challenge, and what parts do you think are best to people with greater resources at their call?
I think the order... We have a year. We have a year before the Brian drop the proverbial hammer on us all. The Order's resort... I think the Order is best... Neve, you and the rest of the Order, you're... I know you and I don't agree on the politics side of it. We try and stay out of the shite with the wider Holy Epitaph and
It is
the
not the
Holy
duty
Circles.
of us. We cannot focus on the machinations of those in power. We are the ones who are responsible for those who suffer under that power.
I think with the way the Buran are pushing things, it doesn't matter. We can help those who suffer under the power, but the Buran want to change the I feel like the Buran, the way the Buran took, I think they want to basically create a revolution. But you and I both know what happens when there's revolutions. It's just lots of innocent people die, and that's the order is bet. We need to start by finding out if the Buran consider the Order of Saint Calendra to be part of the entrenched power structures, because I think that would be able to give you and the Order the information you need to go to the High Exarch and the wider Order and maybe start making movements. And
Perhaps
how
that
to
might
plan.
be the second stage. You talk at present as the Buran is this, the Buran is that, but from your very limited interaction and the limited scope that we have to pull from, and I do not by any means besmirch what you say, but we have a very narrow field of focus. Now that may be great for starting a fire with the Lord's Radiance, but that only just leads to smoke and flames. We must have the soothing caress of a much wider field, a warming that gives life.
We need to know more about the Buran, don't we?
I think that would be your best place to begin. The Order can do many things, but an individual doing research can bring so much more to the table. But it takes but one hunter to fell the boar. A peasant's mob does not find anything.
That's a fair point. Yeah, okay, I'll do some research. Oh, I got this while I was in what, the City of Glass, was it?
Yeah.
Where I'd gone. I got this for you. Sort of pulls out this little touristy knick-knack from the pouch. It's looking a little crushed. Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. Like I said, I got crushed by a guardian thing. It didn't survive.
Her laugh is both tinkling and musical as she takes it. The fact it is a gift from you means so much more than whatever it might have been.
Yeah, I did. I probably should have got something a little more sturdy, but to be fair, I didn't really know that I was going to end up fighting a hawk-headed monster thing. I'm still not sure how the fuck I ended up. No, I know exactly how, Misty.
It's at that moment that the message cantrip comes to both you and Neve. There is a missive for you at the front.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything else you wish to discuss before you go?
Not particularly. Is Dorian in at the moment, or are they off doing what Dorian does best?
I am not entirely sure. They might be. It might be an idea to reach out to them personally and have them meet you if they are not here.
Okay, I'll go check their quarters, and if they're not there, then... Oh god. Oh, Pelor. They could be anywhere. God damn it, Dorian. Kiva will just sort of suddenly start speaking in... Sort of just quickly says, Dorian, I'm back in... Just literally... Dorian, I'm back in... And is doing this as well.
Yeah,
like,
just counting them off with the fingers.
Dorian, I'm back in... Shit, the city's name has escaped me.
For the sake of brevity, and
yeah,
to
basically, within 25 words, I'm back.
Yeah.
There's a cut off of the end of how a thing. Basically, how.
It goes, how are things with, and it just cuts off. We pan away from the gleaming. What did I call it earlier? Museum.
Museum, yeah.
The gleaming museum, and pan across the city to a far less friendly abode. This one of... Bless you! This one of dark wood and oak, of shuttered window and stained glass, of high peak and spire of stone. Misty, you arrive home for the first time in not long enough. But there is one small semblance of enjoyment as you stride through the main doors. Various servants, slaves, courtesans, people of various houses that are being tutored and trained. You can hear the crack of sword in the yard, as well as the backlash of magic from various alchemical research stations. An older drow male who was busy at work talking with a young individual of some description. You do not notice them.
I do not.
Because as the yellow eyes turn to you, the crinkled brow, very creased, very quickly relaxes, and a smile that lights a very dark face sees you.
As sorry.
Misty.
Ace, come here.
And with wide steps, he comes in and does the full embrace.
Have you been keeping?
Far better now that I have you home.
I could say the same were it not for the surroundings.
Well, let's not speak too loudly. She has ears everywhere. He looks at a plant.
Too true, too true. It's illusion eyes on the plant that then just like run away.
Come, we have too much to discuss and not enough time. Walk with me. And you begin the elongated route to your mother's office. Speak to me then. I have heard many a description of your involvement in places. What trouble do you bring, and what enjoyment tales do you have to share?
Well, as for enjoyment, I'm not sure that the sort of thing you'd care to hear. Though I will say that my aim is getting better. You'll be pleased to know, though not with a dagger. I'm sorry. I have never been. My magic is still ever stronger than my sword arm.
Oh, far be it from me to dismiss something as a gift of yours.
Well,
The
what else
curious
has been-
question that I have that I must press upon you, and forgive me for cutting quickly to the chase. Does Ida still remain in your company?
He does.
It kind of gives you that. You know why I'm asking this.
She does. She's improving. Slowly. But she has been actually challenging some things I've said, which is an improvement for her.
Most excellent. Unfortunately, the task of finding her brother, as you had requested, has continued to yield little fruit. We have him moving towards Reading as a result of some invitation, and that's as far as we seem to find. Reading forevermore continues to close its doors to any form of outside intrusion, those that are not supremely magically gifted or tutelaged in their own game, so it is unfortunate.
On that note, I have made an ally in Reading.
Do share.
One Claudius. They are a brother to my current companions, a most fortuitous windfall that. Oh, I don't yet have any leverage. You're on friendly terms.
Status within Reading?
What do I know of his status, actually? I think we've discussed this previously, haven't we? The group. But,
yeah, we have told you about our dad. He is the archmage of not an entire spire, but a subcategory of. Yeah, but it's not big enough to be one of the main spires. It's a subcategory of magic.
He specializes in a subcategory, but he is the lord of the entire spire.
That's enough for Misty.
Yeah.
I'll see. He is the son of one of the minor archmages in a smaller spire. something to work with.
Most certainly, every key has its lock. I just need to find if this lock has the right key.
Right. And on more disturbing news, a new player on the field. I've informed Mother already, but you should be wary of people in alignment with the Buran, as they are. I don't know if you've heard.
Winter elves coming in and stirring up trouble. It is indeed concerning, I will not lie, but at the same time, they seem to be an individual that likes to keep to the shadows, which is our own strengths. The spellcaster, well, evidently, but do you have any capacity, anything to gauge against that we have as reference?
Swordsmen, they have very competent. They have some spellcasting ability and very capable spellcasters as their subordinates. And they have said in 1 year's time a winter will come, and the winter will not leave. I've been in contact with our mutual source regarding some of the outcomes of our of various actions, and they are true to their word. That will happen, but they will only be attacking those in power, though the weak and disenfranchised seem to be spared this magical winter somehow.
There's almost an eye roll. Another champion of the people. Where have we heard that time before?
I wonder how long before they show their true aim. I mean, after all, it would be much easier to conquer without the power structures in place.
Do you still have ambition for the Valkyries?
That's a playful smile crosses her face.
I know, stupid question. Wow, Gizmo, that was a desperate attempt. That is a desperate call for attention. Come here, boy. Sorry, I have a cat that just launched on my arm.
Right. It seems prudent, especially, and probably the best way of attacking their goals. I believe their reasoning is the corruption, the opulence, the so little for those below and the so much for those above. And from what I read of them, they believe it.
Well, at least then I'm safe. All I've got is a miserable cot in a plant that doesn't like me.
And there's a genuine laugh from Misty at that. Darling, that plant hates you.
In fact, it's the third one of them. Come, your mother will be already snooping as to what we're talking about.
Oh, we must let the good times end so soon. And she puts on her professional face.
He kind of returns himself to much more militaristic stature, and coming to a door of black ironwood engraved with silver thread for obvious reasons. He opens the door. Matriarch, your daughter arrives. The woman doesn't even look up. As expected. You can leave.
Step in, head bowed. Mother, I come with the request. Unopened as it is addressed to you.
It is taken from your hand and brought over to the desk where it is unravelled. She cursory looks over it. Tell me of your companions. Sorry, that's not her voice. Tell me of your companions.
We make stronger ties, and we have officially formed as a party. Two of them are sibling to a mage in Reading. Through them, I have made his acquaintance and established some friendly relations. He's the son of a archmage of a minor spire in a specialized school of magic. I'm unsure of the specifics. But a door has been left ajar, something we could work with. Ada continues to grow in confidence and skill, though she still doubts herself too much.
For the first time since entering the room, her gaze meets yours. And your mother is an ageless beauty, something that is an item that she has used to her advantage before. Though her hair is cut and kept quite short, as is the style for matriarchy, her dress and her garb blend armour and glamour in equal attire. Long, slender purple arms tipped with white fingernails, silver thread regaling around in the blackness of the void of her dress, as well as the shimmering of diamonds within the fabric to resemble the stars. On one hand is the signet ring, a large, almost wave-like formation on the signet. And her eyes, as always, an extremely vibrant purple that seem to glow. Once again, every time you meet her eyes, the impression of power that she holds seems to pin you in place.
Just keep my professional thing up. Just the automatic responses, like the do what you can to get out from her gaze. Placate. Does she say anything when she meets my gaze, or?
I hear you had a satyr working on a side project.
Internally, damn it. Yes, mother. I thought it would be beneficial to the house and to
Explain.
Ada has a particular bond with her brother that has left her emotionally wounded. By attempting to repair this wound and bridge that gap, I forge stronger ties with her and allow her to grow in confidence and therefore become more of an asset to the house, as well as potentially reaping her brother as a potential new ally.
She looks down and takes a paper and kind of leaves it for you to come and get. She doesn't waste her magic on sending it to you.
I pick it up. I read it.
Your father's dead. It is the death certificate. A drow high consort murdered in their sleep.
I see.
Keep it.
Who?
That is all.
Thank you, mother. Goodbye. I leave. I get out there as fast and as politely as I can.
Man, I'm warm after that one. I don't like playing those types of characters.
Oh no, I loved that. That was amazing.
God damn, JC.
God, that like the mental exercise. I just think, okay. Just keep it up. What are the plans in place? What do I have? Okay.
The note reads that drow male, age matching, description matching, name not recorded, was found detained, tortured, and eventually killed by their own hand, was found more than a week ago. Your mother did not bother to tell you until now.
Did it?
The house previously in charge and responsible in duty of the care has already paid the appropriate fines, and the matter is at a close.
Mixed feelings swirl through Misty. Not as I knew of my father. I had a relationship with him, but a sense of like a hole where a longing should be. You get me?
Yeah.
And just cock the feeling away, as she's practiced to do. Piece of paper. Not sure what to do with it, but puts it in her bag and looks around. Is he still here?
He's leaning against one of the wall buttresses, 20 or so paces away. That must have been pleasant.
I walk on over. As ever, as gentle as a knife to the heart.
Come. He puts an arm around you. One of the few people that'd be allowed to do this, I think.
Yes, definitely.
Let's get a proper catch up.
Please.
And as you two, unless you have more that you wish to discuss with Ace.
More just general roleplay, but that can be skipped now.
The camera once again pans out and lands on a similarly scaled but far more open and welcoming estate of the Hamburg. Their sigils and symbology is not quite as in your face as other estates nearby, but certainly enough to intone the mastery of wealth and the ability to use it to good end. Space on the dais is quite at a premium, and especially with the sheerity of the certain slopes and sides, every angle and aperture has been made available. The house does not actually sit as one level, but sits as multiple tiers like a staircase, climbing up the side of the face, but each rooftop then is exposed and used in its own right. Rooftop gardens, pools, daises, sunrooms, and even open-air courtyards dominate inside, creating a much larger space than one would otherwise expect from looking from without. The carriage containing Ida, Gerd, May, and Lord Hamburg arrives, and you are escorted inside.
Quite a fancy mansion.
I will turn it over to you as I quickly check a few things.
So yes, as you enter the room, through the hallway, we're greeted by my staff, who usher us into one of the waiting rooms, where a series of bottles of wine have been opened already, and chalices and various sort of like tapas, little tiny bits of food have been put out, ready for guests. How many people are actually with us currently? Because I know at least two of you aren't.
3. There's me, Ida, and May.
Okay.
Kiva and Misty are currently not here yet.
How long do you think your compatriots should take? Do they normally take long?
Well, it's been a while since we have visited the city, so it might take an hour or maybe a few hours.
I see. Oh, that's
The
fine.
message will chime into your head. Got some still attending stuff at Bay at the temple. Be with you
who's
as soon as
that?
I can.
Who's that? No?
Yeah, that'd be Kiva.
Yeah, that's Kiva just going, hey, I'll be with you as soon as I can. I'm a little busy at the moment. Who the hell is Calcifer Hamburg?
So, if I'm not mistaken, you can react to a message.
You can reply. You have 25 words.
I'm not sure about specifics, so I'm not gonna count my words. So you said, hey, I'll be with you soon because I have some stuff to deal with. Who is Calcifer
Hamburg?
Calcifer Hamburg. Okay, I'll reply with Calcifer Hamburg is a dude we met. May seems to know him. He is related to Aspire. We are at his estate. That's there. 14. We will wait for you here. I assume you and Misty shall meet us here at stop any point, but you don't hear any point, and I just keep on rambling on with, I hope that you don't take too long, as he did ask a few questions. And I'm saying all of this aloud, so this comes out of nowhere as I just start ranting off.
It's just literally a message in your head.
Yeah, I'm literally like staring at the air for a second, and then I recognize your voice, and I go, well, all right, and then I start doing that.
Also, like, Kiva, you get a message in your head as I start writing in my book. It's going, that just says, if you're with the others already, can you update them that I'll be on my way shortly? I have some catching up to do in town. Thank you. Later, darling.
So you,
I don't pass that on because I'm going to assume it happened just after I finished sending to
And
him.
it would have, so that's why I was waiting.
Do
Right,
you wait for Kiva, or is it just the three
Well,
of you?
Ida did say that she would like to do a bit of magic research in a quiet
It's
room.
more that we're running out of time is all. So
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
so I'll
Ida, you're muted.
we'll do that. We'll do that as the start of next session then.
Yeah, I was about to say if we can leave that for next session, that is not important for the time being.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay,
Alright.
well, in which case I'll address you thusly. So, when whoever is turning up turns up, I'll go, so the matter of this mission.
Yes.
You see, a number of my associates, totaling at least 10 that I'm aware of, have unfortunately passed, but still seem to be about, you see.
That's an issue.
It is an issue. After sending my various agents to investigate, all of their families seem to have buried them, and yet, nonetheless, they are out in the world, acting very freely and lively, but worryingly out of character. Now, the finer points of the actual negotiations for costs can wait, I think. But would this be a job that you would take on?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a job we're very well suited for, I'll tell you. Taking it on, I guess we could. Depending on, how far spread do you think these people are from your reports?
Sorry, could you repeat that last part? From what the reports are, sorry?
How far apart you think because you said there were about 10, right? Or did I hear that number?
No, you're correct. There are about 10 that I'm aware of. There could be more.
Yeah. So how far of a radius are we talking about?
Well, given that I don't tend to get about much, the majority of these people are from this city or from Reading.
Are you saying that we are going to join you with putting them to
Yes.
rest?
I am personally investigating this matter, but I'm aware that this is beyond my ability to handle. And I do think that having seasoned people such as yourselves at my side would be beneficial.
So it's more of
It's
a
at that
bodyguarding
moment.
job.
It's at that moment
sorry.
that an esteemed butler arrives. Excuse me, my lord, but another report has come in. There's been another sighting of the deceased. And that is where we will end this session. As
Alright.
we're slightly pressed for time, and I know this could go on for many, many more hours, but I really enjoyed that session.
Me too. That was
Mhm.
great.
God, you sneaky little bitches! We knew nothing! I was completely blindsided by Luke showing up. I was like, damn, he's real active in the chat. I'm pretty sure that's Luke. And then he suddenly shows up and I'm like, you're that dude in the chat, right?
Yeah, this
good
has
time.
been in the work for quite some time. Just it's the place in the story to drop somebody in.
It's really cool, I gotta say. I like it
Yeah.
a lot.
I,
Props.
I hope you guys will enjoy my character when we get into the nitty-gritty of it, but I appreciate that I'm coming into a live story. There's not always a chance to just go, here's my exposition.
Here's my entire life story.
Well,
Yeah.
that'll come probably the start of next session.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot for you to catch up on as well.
Yeah,
I
there
know.
is.
I think, obviously, having watched what you guys were doing before, I think I've got a little bit of context.
Yeah, of course. We have been streaming a lot.
I'm going to.
Go ahead, Jesse.
So obviously I'm slightly pressed for time, so I can't stick around. You guys can obviously stick around afterwards and chat, but I would like to know, for my sake and the stream's sake, the play of the night and the player of the night. What was it you like from my end, and what do you want to nominate for each other? Obviously, Luke, you being part of this, are more than welcome to cast a vote on what you enjoyed and who you think here is deserving of the DM inspiration.
I do not.
My vote's on Robin for his chat with Verlaine and her saying lots of mean things about me.
I'm sorry.
I enjoyed both siblings bickering. So I would probably go with one of the two of those. I guess I'll go with Gerd for now. I don't know.
That's fair.
Can I just take a moment to say, JC bringing all those backstory NPCs to light, like for Kiva, for me, for
Yeah. All of it.
Yes.
Damn, man. It's been amazing so far.
If you think that's bad, I'm a nightmare.
The mother was a right bitch, and I was like, okay, I need to be like really. It's a really
You did
difficult
that.
space to get into.
Perfect.
She is an absolute bitch. Like, you guys think Misty's bad?
That laugh, yo.
So if we meet Misty's mom, basically, Kiva will sit there, will afterwards go, so, that childhood trauma, want to talk about it?
Nope.
So I really enjoyed all of like the divinations and like figuring out what to do and how to progress, and then showing up into Araya and meeting Luke's character. It's been a heck of a ride, and my vote for play of the night is just on Ida for her amazing fucking divinations question, which has given us an entire purpose for like the coming year for our characters.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like that one question changed our entire game plan.
Okay, I can agree with that. Yeah, I'll go for Ida as well then.
Well, play of the night. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ida.
Kiva?
For the
I will also be going with Ida for the same reason.
All right.
Ida, what about you?
I'd have to give it to. Well, I really liked all the NPCs. Misty's makes my skin crawl, and I love that. I actually really liked Misty's role playing in that specific scene because this is the first time we got to see her when she's not in a position of when she's not in a position of competence and power, and like how you instantly dropped those little ticks that she has and picked up different ones, but recognizably still kind of similar ones. It was really good. Like, it's like she turned into not quite a completely different character, but put on a different face, a different side of a character that we don't get to see.
exactly what I was going for.
Yeah.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. I must say that I thought all of you played really well. Piety, if we need to do a quick bit of piety. You've already gained 2. Does anybody have the document open to save me going searching for it and chasing it?
Is it just in your kaleidoscope of everything?
It is, yes.
Alright, it's opening.
Piety. I got it. It's a short-term character goal.
So, a short-term character goal. Who thinks they got that?
I think Kiva, for one, massively. All of us, kind of, because
We all got to Araya, and that was our goal.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah.
that's fair. Okay. Next one, Robin.
The next one is attuned to a new magic item.
Nope.
You did good.
There.
You know, good, did.
Yeah, I did, but it was last time.
Yeah, we did
so
that
I
in the
still
previous
have
one.
to add it. Yeah, but I still have to add it though.
Okay.
Because I didn't add it last time, so I did it now. Invoke a bond, ideal, flaw, or refer to their major or minor character trait.
I would think pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Everyone had a bond or a flaw or a thing there.
Alright,
Hello. Hi.
develop a new or existing relationship. Everybody, I'm pretty sure.
Um,
I didn't develop a new one or really expand that
I
existing one.
mean,
I caught
we
up with that race, but
for one, I'd argue that we
I'd say-
expanded our relationship with the Biran a massive amount.
true actually.
That's actually a very good point. I was going to say that only Kiva, but with you all kind of improved your. Let's face it, the relationship with the Buran is going to determine how this game goes. So the fact that you've
Yeah,
left
and
on shakily, possibly positive grounds.
yeah, and we kind of changed our goal from straight out fighting and beating the Biran to completing their purpose better than them,
Yeah.
so they won't have a reason.
So I'd say that's another one for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the next one is character discovered new or interesting lore. Again, Biran.
Say that's probably everybody.
Yeah.
Even Luke.
Mhm.
especially
Luke,
especially
yeah.
Luke.
You,
Everything he's learned is just like, oh, it's so much newness.
Well, my character hasn't actually spoken or found this out of anyone yet. I'm looking forward to next session where it's reiterated to him.
Yeah,
That's
but
true, yeah.
Because,
keep in mind
because
that the developing new and interesting relations also apply to you because you met all of us. and
we're
you did-
currently acquaintances. We've had a very short conversation.
Yeah,
Once again,
but
a lot of this
we
will
are
apply
starting
next
to
time
develop.
for me.
Next time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Once we've
Uh,
had once we've said more than 4 paragraphs to each other, we'll
Yeah.
have developed a
Yeah.
relationship.
Exactly.
But I think you've got the idea of what sort of person that this guy is. He's very formal.
And are there any more questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used a spell or skill to solve a problem in a creative or interesting way.
May, me, and and Ida.
Yeah, all three
I'd say
divinations.
so, yep. All the divinations there.
And the last one is took actions that impact the world or local area.
Yep.
We got a lot of refugees out. That we all did that.
Yep.
I think you all did that, and I think your reaction again with the Buran, I'd say that's kind of like. I'm going to say no to that one because all the other ones fit way better than this one, so I'd say it doesn't fit under this category.
That's fine.
All right. I still go up
Okay.
in my piety. I'm now at
So do
8.
I.
And I got 3 marks.
Alrighty.
Sorry, how many marks is it to
5.
go up in piety?
5.
Cool.
Making steady progress.
Remember,
Does my bond go up with Aether at all?
He didn't really show in this one, so I'll
Right,
probably say no.
Originally, you said it followed along with piety, so I just didn't know.
Typically it would, but it literally there was nothing here. There was no interaction with him at all, so I'm going to say not this time.
That
Plus,
would be
there's
more
less
last
less
session.
marks on his side anyway. So, okay then, people. I'm going to have to jump. Thank you very much for a fantastic game. Thank you very much for the stream, for being interactive and getting involved in it. We will be back on Sunday for our regularly scheduled stream, and be sure to come back next week to figure out what the heck is going on and why our body's suddenly coming back to life. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.